Chapter 1024 Tian Division Martial Arts Practice Field. Fong Ping chatted with the crowd for a while, accepted some flattery, and left with the rank 9 martial artists. In the meeting room, Bei Gong Yan had returned from the imperial prison. At this moment he was reporting the Heaven Division also suffered quite a few losses in the Battle of the King battlefield. The Gopher died in battle, and the Phoenix Spirit separated from us after she came out. She probably ran away. The rank 9 Heaven Division is unscathed, but the 2 rank 8 Grandmasters Zhang Qi and Wang He died in the catacombs. In addition, all of the energy stones, energy liquids, and life essences of the Heaven Division have been used up. Their divine weapons have also suffered heavy losses. The few that have returned are all injured. This time the Heaven Division's rank 9s came out in full force. A few rank 8s also went. This included the 2 rank 9 monsters. Fong Ping was worried about leaving them on Earth, so he brought them along as well. The Gopher had died in battle when the Heavenly Court army had encircled him, but the Phoenix Spirit had survived until the end. However, the Phoenix Spirit had run away after Kong Ling Yuan left. 2 rank 9s were lost. 2 rank 8s had also died in the catacombs. In addition to the depletion of resources, although the Heaven Division did not seem to have suffered any losses, they had actually suffered great losses. Not only that, Chun Chi, who had previously joined the Tian Division, had now gone to the Eastern Guardian Mansion. The head of the Chun family had died in battle in the catacombs. The patriarch of the Chun family had been in charge of the Eastern Guard Mansion. Now that the Chun family's patriarch had left, Qin Yaozu had also left, and the patriarch had died in battle. Qin 7 had to go to the Eastern Guard Mansion. Now, other than Fong Ping, the Heaven Division only had 3 rank 9 martial artists, Tian Mu, Bei Gong Yan, and Old Manly. Fong Ping leaned back in his chair, not uttering a word. After a while he asked, "Where are Su Bing and the others?" Previously, there were rank 9 powerhouses guarding the 6 Grandmasters, but now they're all gone. Fong Ping said mildly, "I saw them in Sun City earlier." Do these fellows think that they don't have to report to the Heaven Division anymore since Absolute Peak is gone? Towards the 6 Grandmasters, Fong Ping did not hate them, but he did not trust them either. In this battle, none of the 6 great Grandmasters, venerable sovereigns, and ultimate experts helped the humans. Of course, they did not attack the humans. That was because Zhang Tao and the others were powerful enough to fight to the death, frightening them. Otherwise, it would be hard to say. Where are dragon-changing skies people? Fong Ping did not mention these people again. Instead, he asked about dragon transformation. She went back. Wang Ruobing said that she's going back to the sky beyond heaven to wait for dragon transformation. As Bei Gongyan spoke, he looked at Fong Ping and said, "Fortunately, Celestial Emperor Changrong is dead. There's still a top-notch powerhouse in dragon-changing sky, so it's not considered dangerous." Fong Ping was surprised. "There's another paragon in Dragon Transformation City?" "Yes." Bei Gongyan nodded and said, "Previously there were 3 supreme experts in Dragon Transformation Sky, but this time 2 supreme experts have also joined the battle. There's still 1 remaining, so this time there's still... It can't be that the other party covets the dragon change heavens and wants to seize power, right?" This time, Heavenly Emperor Dragon Transformation entered the heavenly tomb. "I'm afraid he might not be able to come out alive." Fong Ping never minded thinking of these people in a bad light. Dragon transformation into Heavenly Emperor was virtually certain death. Unless he really had a lucky chance and made up for the consumption of longevity, otherwise the others might come out alive this time. Dragon transformation into Heavenly Emperor was virtually impossible. Dragon Transformation Sky, one of the 4 Brahma heavens. These sky beyond heaven could actually be regarded as demigod weapons. Living in sky beyond heaven. If sky beyond heaven was closed, it would be difficult for outsiders to find him. He could entertain himself and treat himself as a god of creation. Wang Ruobing only had rank 7 strength. Now, she seemed to be almost rank 8, but her strength was still too low. It was difficult to guarantee that the supreme expert in dragon transformation sky would not be tempted. Old Man Li thought for a while and said, "We can go and take a look when we have time. Dragon transformation has helped us a lot this time. No matter what, we can't sit back and watch his daughter be bullied. Otherwise, who would dare to help humans in the future? The enchanted island where Dragon Emperor is overseas. We can't intervene for now. As for Xuande Grotto Heaven, Senior Xianhua has already returned. There seems to be a true god guarding Mystic Virtue Realm. Senior Xianhua isn't too anxious. Quokang Mountain and Purple Cap Mountain. Now that Purple Cap Mountain is destroyed, there's no one at Quokang Mountain. Speaking of which, only Dragon Transformation Sky needs to be paid attention to." Fang Ping nodded slightly, then smiled and said, "Find a time to go there. Sky Beyond Heaven is still very important. Sky Beyond Heaven can connect the 2 realms, entering and exiting without a sound. Dragon Transformation Sky said before that if he dies in battle, Dragon Transformation Sky will be given to humans as long as his daughter is safe." They looked at him. Tian Mu said hesitantly, "This isn't appropriate, right?" Did Fang Ping mean that he wanted to seize Dragon Transformation Sky? Fang Ping thought for a while and said, "It depends on the situation. If that true god wants to protect Dragon Transformation Sky and doesn't have any greedy intentions, then let them be. But then I have to fulfill my promise and take care of Wang Ruobing." They did not say anything else. Fang Ping continued, "If the 2 grandmasters Wang Qinghai and Nan Yunping wake up, let them report to the Heavenly Division. Grandmaster Zheng Tao, try to get them to the Heavenly Division. Right now, there aren't enough rank 9 in the Heavenly Division. There are still too few people. On MCMEU's side, Guo Shengquan and the other 2 vice-chancellors will also come to the Heavenly Division in name only. Dean Lu Zhen will do the same. Okay, in the next few days, I've asked the various departments to collect some information. Is there any news?" Bei Gongyan said immediately, "There's some news, but we can investigate some places. Instead, we've collected some information from Weiyu Mountain, Xuande Grotto, and a few others." Having said that, Bei Gongyan quickly passed a document in front of him to Fang Ping. Fang Ping read it for a while. Sometimes he frowned, and sometimes he fell into deep thought. This document was a list of the powerhouses of some forces in the 3 realms. It was not too complete, but it was enough. After reading for a while, Fang Ping said, "Announce to the public. On the 8th of March, we'll release the 3 realms ranking list. No, change its name. It'll be called the Heavenly Ranking List." They looked at him. Old Man Li raised his eyebrows and said, "The information on the ranking list is incomplete. You might want to use it to achieve some goals, but it might not be as you wish because it lacks the necessary credibility. It's not like the evil sect's 3 realms ranking list, which is still recognized by most powerhouses. It's fine. We'll take this opportunity to expose some hidden forces, especially the evil sect. Right now, other forces might not even notice them. Many people don't even know about the evil sect. Even if they know, they might not leak it to the public. Since the evil sect is preparing to rise from the ashes on Earth, I think they're quite ambitious. They might also make arrangements in other forces. If that's the case, then it's necessary to expose them to the public, lest humans become the strongest force in the eyes of others. We need to be strong so that people won't dare to attack us, but we can't be too strong so that we won't have opponents. If that's the case, it'll easily create a misconception that we're the biggest threat." After chatting with them for a while, Fang Ping tried to gift some origin energy to them. In the end, he realized that it worked. Old Man Li and the rest looked surprised too. Origin energy could be gifted? Even though Fang Ping had gifted it, they did not ask where it came from. Fang Ping had a lot of secrets. This was obvious to all. He did not even hide these secrets. It could not be helped. If he did not gift imperishable substances, more than half of the human powerhouses would have died long ago. Some secrets, if hidden, would be a catastrophe. Based on this, under normal circumstances, Fang Ping felt that it was not dangerous for him, so he would not hide it. Especially now, everyone even thought that he was the reincarnation of Heavenly Emperor Reverse, or the reincarnation of Heavenly Emperor. Of course, most people felt that the Heavenly Emperor was not very reliable. However, it was still possible for him to be the Heavenly Emperor Reverse. As for whether Old Wang and the rest believed it, there was no doubt. They did not think that Fang Ping was the Heavenly Emperor Reverse. This guy was a little different from them, a little special. A few of them even suspected that he was the reincarnation of an emperor. Even Zhang Tao might have such suspicions. However, no one raised this point. At least for now, Fang Ping was not standing on the opposite side of humanity. Origin energy was too expensive. 100,000 points for one cloud. Fang Ping was in urgent need of it, so he could not afford to gift too much. He gave each of them 1,000 clouds, which was worth 100 million points. This was also the limit he could give at the moment. Although he had a lot of wealth, Fang Ping had to keep it. There might be a battle soon, so he had to save it for emergencies. He was not in a hurry to interrogate the two evil sect martial artists. Fang Ping planned to leave them hanging for a few days. After walking out of the conference room, Fang Ping walked around Sky Island. Many people were missing from the Sky Division. Chun Yunqi entered the catacombs on the day he left and never returned. Fang Ping did not know where she was now. This was how martial artists were. It was inconvenient to communicate between the two worlds. After entering the catacombs, unless there was a huge commotion, no one would know if the person who entered was dead or alive. It had been less than a week since Chun Yunqi entered. It was normal that she did not come out. Chun Yunqi was considered to have entered for a short time. He had not seen a few of them for a long time. Zhao Xuemei, his classmate from the same sect, seemed like he had not seen her for a while. She had also entered the catacombs and had not returned until now. Fang Ping did not know when would be the next time he would meet her. Ever since Qin Fengqing took some imperishable substances from him, there was no news of him either. There was no trace of him at all. His former companions had now gone their separate ways. Each had their own martial arts path to take. Perhaps the next time they met would be farewell forever. Wandering from place to place, this term flashed across Fang Ping's mind. Most human martial artists were like this. After entering the catacombs, they did not know if they were dead or alive. Coming out was an accident. It was a pleasant surprise. If they did not come out, they were probably dead, and they had long been prepared for this. It's time to go home. Fang Ping let out a long sigh. There were some things that he did not have the ability to change, even if he wanted to. Humans won this time. The plan was a success, but it did not mean that humans were invincible. There were countless rank 9s in the catacombs. The overseas immortal islands were far away in the depths of the Forbidden Sea. The outland was hard to find, and the bounded zones had strong defenses. There were still some absolute powerhouses keeping watch. Humans were the ones pretending to be strong. On the big earth, Fang Ping was the strongest now. But no matter how strong he was not in a desperate situation. He could only use Li Zhen to scare people. Otherwise, Earth might be a big fat piece of meat in the eyes of all parties now. But this is not something that can be done in the long run. I must quickly obtain the absolute combat strength. Fang Ping thought about this. Without anyone noticing, he stepped on the void and walked home. Fang family. Since the cat returned, the Fang family was also busy. The kitchen was almost non-stop. A certain cat could really eat. It insisted that it had lost more than 100,000 catties this time and had to eat it back. Fang Yuan did not feel that the cat had lost weight at all. But if the cat insisted on saying so, she could not refute it. The cat was incomparably strong. Fang Ping could not even tell how heavy it was. It insisted on eating it back. so he could only satisfy its desire. Sleep after eating, eat after sleeping, sleep while eating. This was the cat's happy life. As for becoming an emperor or the Great War, it had long been thrown to the back of its mind. Even if it sensed Fong Ping's return, the cat was still lying lazily on the lawn, basking in the sun. It did not plan to move at all. So what if it was back? Did it expect this cat to go play? Only dogs would do that. A cat would not do that. The cat was basking lazily in the sun. In midair, Fong Ping thought he was hallucinating. Did round face by a fat cat? Fong Ping murmured. The cat had gone into a trap. How could it possibly appear in the Fong family? Could it be that Fong Yuan felt that she had lost the cat, so she bought another one? But how could there be such a big cat? When the cat arrived at the Fong family, it maintained the size of a 7 or 8-year-old child. It was very big and very fat. How could a normal cat be so big and fat? Moreover, that lazy posture. Although normal cats were lazy, they were definitely not like the cat, where it did not even need to pant. Fong Ping watched for a while in midair. He even saw the cat on the ground, occasionally throwing snacks into its mouth. There was no escape. It was the cat. In the next moment, Fong Ping landed quickly. He pressed on the cat's head and said in shock, "Big cat, why are you here?" The cat's big eyes glanced at Fong Ping through the gaps between its fingers. It said lazily, "If I'm not here, where am I?" What a strange question. I'm hungry. Of course. I have to come here to eat and sleep. If I'm not here, am I supposed to be in the sea? As the cat spoke, it said lazily, "Liar, you said that when I'm back, you'll return my divine weapon and give me a lot of delicious food. There's also emperor-level bejeweled nectar and emperor-level fish. Anyway, there's a lot. Hurry up and give them to me." I'm drooling just thinking about it. Fong Ping was still in a daze. He rubbed its head hard and said in a daze, "You really came out." "Liar. How did you come out? Where are old Zhang and the rest?" "I flew out." The cat was speechless. Could he have walked out? As for the fake emperor, who cares? Fong Ping took a deep breath and asked hurriedly, "When did you come back?" "Which day?" The cat shook its head and shook off his hand. Its tail wagged as it recalled. After the fight. That night. Meow woo. I came back at almost 8 o'clock. Meow woo, I missed dinner. The cat was slightly dissatisfied. It muttered, "I missed dinner time." The television said that it's not good to have an irregular diet. It's bad for the stomach. That night, I ate my meal more than an hour late. No wonder I've been feeling unwell these few days. Fong Ping was about to break down. You came back on the same day? If that was the case, the vibration that Guo Shengquan discovered was caused by this cat? For a moment, Fong Ping did not know if he should be happy or disappointed. He was happy that this cat was back. Even if it did not make a move, he still had some confidence. The problem was, now that it was back, what about old Zhang and the rest? Now, they had really lost contact with each other. Fong Ping smiled bitterly. "You're back. How are we going to communicate with the fake sky grave?" "How would I know?" The cat said insincerely, "I don't want to live in a cage." Fong Ping smiled bitterly again. "Then why didn't you tell me that you're out?" "I'm hungry. We'll talk after I'm full." The cat said impatiently, "You owe me divine weapons and food." Fong Ping was embarrassed. He thought for a while and said, "How about exchanging snacks?" The cat looked at him in disdain. "Do you think I'm still the cat from back then? Snacks are very cheap. I know how to buy them online." He thought about it. The scammer was probably very poor and did not have any divine weapons to return. Forget it, he would owe it for now. The cat's eyes darted around. Its face showed its dissatisfaction. "You're lying to me again. How about this? You give me the origin energy and I'll take it as interest. I won't chase you for your debt. Just give me 1,000 fish demons a day." Fong Ping looked at it and suddenly remembered something. He said with a faint smile, "You were the one who pretended to be a deity, and wanted to cheat me of my origin energy, right? No, the cat denied it firmly. I'm not that kind of cat. When I killed the Life King, I seem to have lost something. Did you do it? No. The cat put on an innocent face and said pitifully, I didn't do it. Don't wrongly accuse me. Fang Ping was speechless. This cat was really shameless, pushing everything away. Fang Ping was too lazy to say anything more. He asked, when you left, were old John and the others okay? Also, when you left, didn't that mean there was an opening? What if the others ran out? They'll be fine, the cat said disapprovingly. I blocked the opening. There's a big gong. When someone comes out, the big gong will ring. Can you still go in? Yes, the cat had just said that when it suddenly yawned and said, I can't. I came back and slept. I forgot where it was. I can't find it. It was not going in. If it went in, those old men would hunt it down again. It was so annoying. It was not willing to go again. Fang Ping was helpless. If the cat did not want to go, there was no point in forcing it. Fang Ping was not in a hurry. There was no point in going. If it really wanted to go, it would not be too late to ask the cat. The man and the cat chatted for a while. Fang Ping suddenly turned his head to look outside the villa. Outside, a large truck had stopped. Roundy was pitifully carrying an incomparably huge wicker basket and was currently walking home. As it walked, it complained, Big cat, how much longer do you want to eat? People are laughing at me. Many people ask me what restaurant I'm opening. Business is so good, I can sell so much in a day. The cat had eaten more than a restaurant's worth. It was also picky. It wanted to eat fresh food, not even frozen food. Fang Yuan had ordered takeaway for it 2 days ago, but the cat refused to eat it no matter what. It wanted to eat cooked food on the spot. As Fang Yuan was talking, she suddenly said in surprise, Fang Ping, you're back! Fang Ping smiled and scolded. Why didn't you call me when the cat was back? I called. You didn't pick up. Fang Yuan said gloomily, Your phone is busy every day. How can I call you? Fang Ping threw his phone into the storage space when he had nothing to do. He would only take it out to make calls when something happened. That was why he could call others, but it was almost impossible for others to get through to him. As she said that, Fang Yuan said gloomily, Brother, why don't we hire a chef? Big Cat has a huge appetite. Mom and I are dying of exhaustion. The cat muttered, No way. My brushing staff and chef have to be appointed by me. Without me, I won't eat the food made by others. Forget it. Fang Yuan said disdainfully, I don't even know who made those snacks. Didn't you eat them happily too? You didn't say you didn't want them either. The cat looked at her as if she was an idiot. After a while it said, That's why they're called snacks, not staple food. You're so stupid. Fang Yuan usually felt wronged and helpless after being looked down upon by this big fat cat. Now that Fang Ping was back, she suddenly felt emboldened. She said hurriedly, Brother, help me beat it up. Big Cat bullies me every day. Fang Ping was speechless. Beat it up? I'll be lucky if it doesn't beat me up. Can I beat this cat up? All right, let's cook. I'm a rank 5 martial artist, after all. Fang Ping glanced at Fang Yuan. Fang Yuan had advanced to rank 5. However, after thinking about it, it was not surprising. This girl had broken through to rank 4 before this. It was not surprising that she had advanced to rank 5 after hanging out with the cat every day. She's a rank 5 martial artist, after all. How could she die of exhaustion from cooking? As Fang Ping said that, he teased, I see that you've also been eating and drinking. You've gained quite a bit of weight. Not bad. Fang Yuan's expression was unfriendly. You're the one who's gained weight. I'm not fat at all. Brother, I heard from outside that you've helped many people improve their abilities in Sun City. Why didn't you help me? I want to be a high-ranked Grandmaster too. Fang Yuan's face was full of anticipation. Grandmaster Fang Yuan. This title was not bad. Big brother, can you set up your source formation at home? Yuan Ping Club in Sun City called me and said that many people have become stronger. They broke through all of a sudden. Fong Yuan was still babbling. The cat glanced at Fong Ping and scratched its head with its paw. Became stronger? Many people. That sounds familiar. Before this, the cat did not pay much attention. Now, its big head was almost in Fong Ping's arms. Its paw poked him a few times and it mumbled, "It seems like there are more people in your mini world. Are you on the Emperor Path too?" Who was that? Old Man Dong Huang? Old Man West Emperor? Emperor God? Anyway, I forgot who. I think there's a mini world too. There are many people in it. The cat mumbled. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows slightly and asked, "Big cat, you keep talking about the 9 emperors. Which 9 emperors are there?" 9 emperors, the cat looked up at the sky. After a while it said, "The 4 old men in the north, south, east, and west. The Emperor God is also a white-bearded old man. He grows a lot of fruits at home. They're delicious. Oh, right, the Spirit Emperor likes to bathe. This time we're going to the Spirit Emperor's bathing pool. And the 2 old men, the Earthly Emperor and the Emperor God." Fong Ping counted and said, "There are only 8 of them. Is the last one the Emperor God?" "No, the heavenly realm doesn't have an emperor. The 9 emperors manage it together." The cat said lazily, "Who's the last one again? Let me think. Oh, it's the Beast Emperor. I think so. The monster's backer is the Beast Emperor. Big Dog used to pretend to be a demon. It also went to the Beast Emperor for help when it needed help." The cat said happily, "It should be the Beast Emperor. It's so silly. Big Dog lied to it and said that we're all monsters. We're in the same group. We often go to its place to get free food and drinks." Fong Ping was speechless. What was the relationship between you and the heavenly dog? The emperors seemed to know all of them. They didn't do anything good either. They were either cheating this or stealing that. How did they survive until now? Chapter 10:25. After changing the topic for a while, the cat forgot about the divine weapon. Fong Ping remained calm and did not mention it again. This cat was black-hearted. It must have stolen 1 billion wealth from him last time. Fong Ping could not stand it. And 1,000 fish demons a day. Unsurprisingly, Fong Ping now had some understanding of the market. Creating 1 fish demon would cost at least 10 clouds of origin energy. 10,000 clouds a day. Would that not cost 1 billion wealth? Fong Ping could not afford to keep this cat for 8 to 10 days. After chatting for a while, Fong Ping said in a low voice, "Big cat, should we go to the fake sky cemetery and bring a few people out?" It would not work if all the humans ran away. However, bringing a few people out would not be too conspicuous. This way, the humans would have the capital. The cat muttered, "No, unless we bring that old man or the fake emperor. If we're not emperor rank, it's very dangerous to go through that entrance. We might die easily. Not everyone could go through that passageway. Without emperor rank strength, it was normal to be shattered by space when walking through the passageway created by the heavenly realm." Fong Ping frowned slightly. He suspected that the cat was looking for an excuse to slack off. The cat seemed to have sensed it. With a smack of its tail, Fong Ping's golden body trembled. Fong Ping was speechless. All right, stop thinking about it. However, Fong Ping quickly asked, "Big cat, where's Jiao?" "Jiao." The cat was stunned. Then it murmured, "Puppy." "Yes, where's Puppy?" Fong Ping was stunned. "I'm asking you. Why are you asking me?" The cat's face was a little stiff. "I forgot. My memory is not good. It's not like you don't know. The puppy was thrown into the depths of the Forbidden Sea. After that it left. Then a series of events happened. It was exhausted. How could it still remember the puppy?" Fong Ping was speechless. This cat was really unreliable. If he were Jiao, he would have cried until he fainted. It was thrown into the depths of the Forbidden Sea and forgotten by people. Who could reason with it? The cat did not seem to have any intention of looking for Jiao. It muttered, "It shouldn't die, right? The more the puppy eats, the stronger it becomes. I seem to have sensed it scolding me. It shouldn't be dead. Forget it." It could vaguely sense something, but the Jiao was too weak. Separated by the world wall and the forbidden sea, it could not sense it clearly. However, since it could sense that Jiao was still alive, the old cat was too lazy to go to the forbidden ocean anymore. Let the puppy do whatever it wants. Fang Ping did not bother with the Jiao anymore. He had a lot of things to do now. It was good that the cat was back. Previously, Fang Ping was still thinking that since there were no powerhouses among humans, he could not easily enter the catacombs and leave Earth. Now, it seemed that although the cat didn't kill people, there was still hope for it to help drive away some people. Fang Ping did not plan to tell anyone about the cat's appearance. It was better to keep this cat as a trump card. For the next 2 days, Fang Ping did not go out much. At this moment, Fang Ping started planning and deducing combat techniques. He wanted to deduce a combat technique that was most suitable for him. The void-piercing sword art was the best technique he had learned, but the increase was only 3%. As for the manic explosion saber, this was the first time he had learned a middle-ranked combat technique. Up until now, it still gave him a 1% increase, which meant that its compatibility was quite high. Of course, the amplification of these combat techniques would not stack. The void-piercing sword art that Fang Ping was using now was the most suitable for him. However, Li Zhen's void-piercing sword art and Fang Ping's compatibility was not as high as he had imagined. Fang Ping also wanted to try out the effect of a combat technique deduction of 1 million per use. In the cultivation room, Fang Ping closed his eyes, immersing himself in the origin world. The deduction of combat techniques was the most suitable and the easiest in the origin world. Previously, when he used combat techniques in the origin world, it seemed to resonate with the origin Dao more easily. Today, Fang Ping's vitality was more than 400,000 calories. That was relative to a rank 9. His vitality essence was still more than 200,000 calories. This meant that his vitality units were more than 200,000 units. Recombining more than 200,000 units of vitality could be said to be a task that might not be completed even if he exhausted his entire life. Just 10 different numbers, arranged in random order. There were hundreds of thousands of combinations. When it came to 11, there were millions of combinations. Hundreds of thousands of different combinations of numbers. Fang Ping did not even think about it. It would drive him crazy. Therefore, even if some ancient powerhouses were constantly optimizing their combat techniques, they might not be the ones that were most suitable for him. The so-called compatibility was only the combat technique that was currently the most effective for them to upgrade. Those old antiques, who had lived for close to 10,000 years, recombined a few thousand times a day. Even if they did it every day, there would only be about 1 million combinations in a year. If they tried it for 10,000 years, there would only be 10 billion combinations. But who would spend 10,000 years doing this? Of course, when you found a type of recombination that was suitable for you and optimized it, you could also eliminate most of the energy recombination methods that were not suitable for you. Fang Ping's maximum ability was not considered low. It exceeded a vitality outburst of 600,000 calories. However, his combat techniques did not increase greatly. His control was not high either. As for the low control, it had a certain relationship with the combat technique's compatibility. When the combat technique was suitable for you, the control of your strength would improve accordingly. These two actually complemented each other. In the origin world, at this moment, more than 200,000 units of vitality were arranged in an orderly manner. Fang Ping could not cut it into 1-calorie units. At this moment, his maximum ability could only cut his vitality into 3 calories units. More than 200,000 calories vitality was about 70,000 units of vitality. At this moment, Fang Ping used the system's ability, combat technique deduction. The moment he used the ability, Fang Ping seemed to see an invisible giant hand arranging the vitality. It was not a random arrangement. Fang Ping's origin world was shaking slowly, as if searching for a resonance point. The vitality was pulsating. It seemed to be cheering and jumping for joy. The giant hand also seemed to be sensing the fluctuations in the origin world, adapting to this kind of fluctuation method. Soon, the vitality was like a long dragon, dancing in the air, jumping and combining. These little red light spots were originally just a straight line. Now they were combining into some patterns. Fang Ping saw the light spots combining into the shape of a sword. Soon, the sword shape broke apart and began to combine into the shape of a saber. Gradually, a blood-colored Changdao appeared in the origin world. Fang Ping frowned slightly. He felt that it did not seem to be very compatible with the origin world. However, at this moment, the system's energy seemed to be exhausted. The consumption of 1,000,000 points was probably only for this long, or in other words, the effect. Fang Ping glanced at the system interface, not saying a word. Combat techniques. Void-piercing swordsmanship, plus 3%. Nameless saber technique, plus 1%. Manic explosion saber, plus 1%. 1,000,000 points, and you deduced a combat technique comparable to manic explosion saber for me? What a fraud! Fang Ping cursed under his breath. This was worth as much as 10 billion, and you deduced this for me? Wasn't this a gamble? Manic explosion saber was only a middle-ranked combat technique. Of course, its compatibility with Fang Ping was not low. That was why Fang Ping had been using it, and the effect was okay. To be able to increase his current strength by 1% was already incredible. However, the system deduced this level of combat techniques. Fang Ping was still extremely helpless. Again, looking at his remaining 7 billion wealth, Fang Ping gritted his teeth, made up his mind, and tried to deduce again. 7 billion. If he could deduce a very powerful combat technique by spending 700 million points, it would be worth it. 700 million points, 700 times, deducing 700 combat techniques. Although it's not worth mentioning compared to the number of restructuring plans, it should still be something. Fang Ping performed the deduction for the second time, and very quickly he discovered the difference. The deduction was continuing. It was not starting from scratch. This meant that this was a continuous process. The system was constantly adjusting, looking for the energy combination that was most compatible with Fang Ping. If this went on, every deduction would be a process of perfection. If that's the case in the end, maybe I'll deduce a combat technique that is most compatible with me, allowing my combat strength to increase tremendously? Fang Ping was slightly excited. He began to try again. 2 times, 3 times, 10 times, Fang Ping performed the deduction tirelessly in the source world. When he could not hold on any longer, he would consume some origin energy to replenish it. This time he wanted to come up with a combat technique that was most suitable for him. It had to be at least slightly stronger than the void-piercing swordsmanship technique. After all, Li Zhan's swordsmanship belonged to someone else. To think that he, Fang Ping, had reached the peak of his strength, yet he did not have any combat techniques that he could use. The so-called 10,000 teachers leveling method was just a joke. Fang Ping was cultivating combat techniques in seclusion. At the same time, the days passed in the blink of an eye. March 7th, Heavenly Division. In the big conference room. At this moment, there were many people in the conference room. The 3 newbies still could not accept the reality. Sino Nation had changed. That kid, Fang Ping, was in charge now. Especially Wang Qinghai. When he saw the others entering the room, his face turned pale. He laughed bitterly. Why did you wake me up? I thought I had been asleep for hundreds of years. It's only been a few months. A few months. That kid has become the boss of Sino Nation. No, the boss of the world. I can't accept this. Old Man Li said bluntly, cut the crap. To wake you guys up, I've spent God knows how much money. If you want to pass out, earn the money back first. If you can't earn it back, then sell your body to repay the debt. You talk too much." Wang Tringhai looked helpless. He heard that in order to save him, he had spent an extremely precious cat fruit. It was worth trillions. Even if he had to kill rank 9 demons to create divine weapons, he would have to kill 10 to 20 rank 9 beasts in one piece. If he wanted to create so many divine weapons, he might not be able to kill all of the beasts. He would have to double the number. In other words, he would have to kill 40 rank 9 beasts to repay the debt. 40 rank 9 beasts. It would take more than 10 years to kill one beast in 3 months. That was if he was still alive. Tianmu laughed. "Don't think too much. Those left here are all Fang Ping's debtors. Other than old Bei who owes less, the few of us will work for the rest of our lives to repay the debt." Bei Gong Yen laughed. "I didn't borrow much. I only borrowed a rank 9 divine weapon and about 300 yuan worth of imperishable substance. All right, you can't pay it back anyway. Does it make a difference?" Tianmu interrupted him directly. Even if he owed less, he had to be able to pay it back first. Tianmu stopped talking about this. He looked at the few people whose faces were still pale. He smiled. "Since we're here, let's not think about anything else. Let's talk about the Myriad Worlds leaderboard that will be released tomorrow. The goal is simple. Make the evil sect a target for everyone. We can't let the human race be at a disadvantage. Otherwise, we'll become a target for everyone else." Wang Tringhai used to go to the Martial Arts Association to solve the leaderboard problem. He asked, "Does the human race need to hide their combat strength?" "No," Tianmu said helplessly. "How can there be any combat strength to hide? Those who should have come out have already come out. Then we'll do it according to their true strength. As for the evil sect, didn't you guys interrogate them before? There are a few known true gods. If you want the evil sect to become a target for everyone, then make up 1 or 2 emperor-level powerhouses. Didn't they say that the evil sect headquarters has 3 guardians and 8 guardians? The guardians are gone. Although the guardians don't know the situation, we can just make it up. Make up 1 or 2 emperor-level powerhouses and put them on the leaderboard. That will make them a target for everyone." Tianmu nodded slightly. He said, "The evil sect has 8 guardians: metal, wood, water, fire, earth, wind, thunder, and lightning. Taoist Wind Cloud is one of the 8 guardians. I don't know if this guy entered the sky cemetery or hid. There's no trace of him until now. Before this, he only appeared as a mentality projection. This guy's strength isn't weak. Even Minister Zhang and the others didn't find his real body. How about we list him first?" Everyone looked at each other and nodded. They had no objections. This time, Fang Ping wanted to make up the All Heavens and Myriad Realms leaderboard to target some people. Even if he did not, he had to say that he did. Everyone continued to discuss. Combining the information given by various parties, they began to arrange it one after another. It was not until the sky was about to brighten that everyone came up with a new leaderboard. Soon, Tianmu looked at Old Manly and said, "Send it to Fang Ping. If there's no problem, we'll officially announce it today. We've also arranged for people in the catacombs. Once the leaderboard is out, it'll spread quickly in all the major outer regions." Old Manly sighed. "I don't think it's impressive enough. The leaderboard that the evil sect made before was set up directly in the Forbidden Sea. We're like selling newspapers. One look and you can tell that we're lower than the evil sect. We don't have enough credibility." Tianmu was speechless. It was good enough that they had so many requirements. How did Li Chongqing learn all this from Fang Ping now? He could not be bothered with him. Tianmu did not reply. He had a lot of things to do recently. Fang Ping gave them a lot of origin qi. He was now in the stage of rapid improvement. He had no time to waste. Old Man Li felt that it was not impressive enough. Fang Ping, who had just received the leaderboard, also felt that it was not impressive enough. It was not a matter of extravagance. The key was that if he made it sound like a rumor, no one would believe it. If he did it like this, would it not be a waste of effort? Therefore, Fong Ping found the cat very quickly. When this big cat almost smacked Fong Ping to death, Fong Ping finally got something. March 8th, Magic City Catacombs, Mount Royal Sea Region. A man and a cat sneakily hid on the Imperial Sea Mountain. In the cat's paws, there was a mirror, the divine peeking mirror. The cat looked unhappy. It muttered, "Why? The divine peeking mirror is for watching shows. Why do I have to do this? It's so troublesome. It bothers me every day." Fong Ping chuckled. Just once is enough. Brother Cat, what's our relationship? This is very important. Do me a favor. I'll make something delicious for you later. The cat did not believe him at all. He owed the cat so many divine weapons and did not return them. He was a big liar indeed. However, since he was here, it was obvious that he had been persuaded. The cat stuck out its fat buttocks and fiddled with the divine peeking mirror. It muttered, "I used the sky bell to block the door. Otherwise, I could have just hit the bell. That's not what the divine peeking mirror is for. Also, the catacombs are so big. I can only project 3,000 li." Fong Ping grinned. "Enough. That's enough. It's not good if it's too far. 3,000 li is just right. I'll scare them. After I'm done, we'll run. Let them think that it's Li Zhen's doing." The cat continued to mutter. It had nothing good to say. The liar came to bother him every day. He wanted to move. The man and the cat chatted for a while. Soon the cat stood on its hind legs. It tossed the divine peeking mirror toward the sky and muttered, "Just this once. Don't ask me to work next time. I'll lose tens of thousands of catties every time I work." In its dissatisfaction, the heavens and the earth roared. At this moment, a loud voice resounded in all directions. "The celestial cemetery has opened. Powerhouses shall enter and fight for the destiny of heaven. Now that the three realms are in chaos, the humans have sensed the chaos in the world. They specially set up the myriad realms ranking to warn everyone that the powerhouses are here. Do not start a war." As the voice fell, the sky turned blood red. It spread all the way, spreading out for thousands of li. At the same time, the energy in the catacombs converged. At this moment, in this 3,000 li radius between heaven and earth, there was suddenly endless energy condensing into words. The words were made up of energy. The energy flickered and even began to solidify. The commotion was huge. At this moment, the powerhouses within a radius of thousands of li looked up at the sky. In the distance, waves of aura fluctuated. The cat stuck out its tongue and panted for a while. Then it lifted Fong Ping, turned around, and ran. As it ran, it complained, "It's all your fault. Someone's coming again. There's an emperor-level powerhouse rushing over from the other side of the sea. Liar, big liar. You said there's no emperor level." The cat looked aggrieved. Another emperor level was coming. It was not like this cat was an emperor level. It was better to run. Emperor level. Fong Ping was stunned. There were really emperor level remnants. Whose emperor level was it? There was no time to think. The cat was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, it broke into Magic City's passageway and disappeared into the catacombs. Not long after they left, a figure appeared at the edge of the Forbidden Sea. The protector who appeared at the Divine Sect's headquarters earlier looked at Mount Imperial Sea, which was thousands of li away. He frowned slightly. "Li Zhen? Where did he go? I'm a step too late. Human world? Land world? Or did he hide in misery again? The other party disappeared too quickly. He had just arrived, and there was nothing left. Where did he go?" He took a look at Magic City's passageway not far away. He sensed for a while. It did not seem like there was much vibration. The protector frowned slightly. The vibration was still very big when the Absolute Being entered the passageway. The Emperor level was even bigger. However, when the cat entered the passageway, the movement did not seem to be too big. The last time Guoshenquan sensed it, it was only a slight vibration. The cat, the essence of the path, had not even reached the absolute peak. Under such circumstances, naturally, it would not cause too much vibration in the passageway. The protector sensed for a while and instantly gave up on the idea of Li Zhan returning to the human world. If he really went to the human world, he would be able to sense it. And Li Zhan appeared here and did not return to the human world. This further proved that the guy was hiding in the land world. I'll catch you sooner or later. The middle-aged protector snorted coldly and looked up at the sky again. He frowned slightly, and his expression was not very good. Feng Yun, did Li Zhan deliberately set up a trap? Or are you really hiding in the land world? The first person on the myriad heavens and realms list, Taoist Feng Yun. With all the experts gone, Taoist Feng Yun became the first. I'm ranked second. Li Zhan is well informed. He actually knows that I haven't left. Could it be that there is a spy in the divine sect? At this moment, the protector frowned slightly. His whereabouts could be considered to be hidden, except for a few divine masters. No one else knew that he was still in the land world. But now the human race actually ranked him second. This made the protector somewhat suspicious. Did someone among the divine masters leak his existence? This was not a good thing. Moreover, he was not even the first. If Li Zhan was killed, he might be linked to him. Troublesome. The middle-aged protector cursed in a low voice and quickly disappeared from the taboo sea. A peerless powerhouse had already rushed over. Fang Ping and the others did not know that it was a coincidence that they could match a random protector on the ranking list. On this day, everyone sensed the change. It was a huge commotion. On this day, all the powerhouses knew that Fang Ping had created the All-Heaven and 10,000 Realms ranking. There was no way he wouldn't know that in the 3,000-kilometer area, the names of the people were still there. If no one destroyed it, it would probably be able to stay there for a few years. Monarch ranking. First place, Taoist Feng Yun, Protector Feng of the Divine Sect second place. Thunder Emperor. Thunder Protector of the Divine Sect third place. Nether King Li Zhan, Commander of the Human Race Military Department Peerless Talents ranking. First place, Skaelm, Guardian Demon Plant of the Celestial Plants Royal Court. Second place, Crazy Taoist Nameless, once appeared outside the Heavenly Tomb, but was unable to enter. Third place, Qinghua, Wang Wu Mountain Disciple fourth place. Jiang Yu, Elder Wei Yushan fifth place. Supreme Diquang, one of the gods of the Divine Sect, number 18, Muyan, Wuji Tan Tian Vao Elder No. 19, Ji Hong, Master of Destiny Royal Court, number 22. Huai King Huaying, Servant of 3 Surnames No. 23, Gu Chuan, Right Divine General of Heavenly Plants, Royal Court, number 27. King Ping Shan, Destiny Royal Court No. 28. Fang Ping, Human Race Tian Division, Minister Rank, 9 ranking. Number 1. Li Changsheng Human No. 2. Ling Xiao Wang Wu Mountain No. 3. Su Yunfei Human No. 4. Yu Wu Hua Immortal Seeking Island No. 5. Luo Yu Boundless Mountain No. 6. Jiang Kue Wei Yushan No. 7. Wu Qi Water Demon No. 8. Demon Swordsman Imperial Sea Mountain No. 9. Wu Quishan Human No. 10. Wang Hanyue Dragon Transformation No. 11. Yu Shuzi Yulong Tian. The ranking this time listed 3 Emperor ranks and 28 Paragons. The 3 Emperor ranks were actually made up by Fang Ping and the rest, including Li Zhan. Even if Li Zhan really stayed, he did not have the strength of an Emperor rank. However, Fang Ping still listed Li Zhan. 28 Paragons. This was also the Paragons that Fang Ping's side had received from the intelligence. Of course, the addition of a few divine sect gods was also made up. As for whether there were any who knew. On the catacomb side, the intelligence sent by the Sky Plant's royal court showed that the heavenly elm guardian did not leave. The Right God General had actually returned to the royal court and was supporting Li Yi to take over the royal court. King Huai and Fong Ping had fought before. As for Ji Hong's appearance, it was not because Ji Hong had really appeared, nor was it because Fong Ping was suppressing Jiao. It was because Ji Hong really did not leave. That fellow did not go to the celestial cemetery. Fong Ping did not know where he was now. In any case, it was right that he did not go to the celestial cemetery. That day, the true God ranking list that stretched endlessly had now turned into the peerless ranking. There were only these 20 or so people on the ranking list. On the Emperor ranking list, there used to be dozens of powerhouses. Now there were only 3. As for the rank 9 ranking, the changes were even greater. Boundless Mountain's Luo Yu really did not die, but he was seriously injured. This time, he escaped death and returned to Boundless Mountain. As for Qi Huanyu, who was previously ranked first, and Zhao Xingwu, who was ranked second at this time, all of them had disappeared. Some people died. Some people advanced to the paragons. Once this ranking list was released, everyone was shocked. The divine sect actually had 2 emperor rank existences. Not only that, but there were also many paragons. This made everyone more vigilant. Of course, the most oppressed one was King Huai. On that day, this ranking list condensed between heaven and earth disappeared. There was no doubt who did it. There was no one else other than King Huai. Other people's suffixes introduced the origin of their forces. He was a slave of 3 surnames. King Huai almost went to Earth to fight with Fong Ping. He did not need to guess to know that this was Fong Ping's doing. But King Huai did not dare. Li Zhen was here. He believed it. There was no way he could not believe it. The movement this time was too big. It was not something Fong Ping could do. There was no one else other than Li Zhen. Not only did he believe it, but the moment the ranking list was released, everyone believed it. The Netherworld King did not leave. If he left, no human could create a big movement that affected 3,000 miles. In this way, Fong Ping's lie to deceive the whole world had become the truth. P.S. Only 2 chapters have been updated today. I'm stuck. Even if I continue to update, it will only be 1 chapter. Slow down a little, let me organize my thoughts. Chapter 10:26. As soon as the Myriad Heavens and Realms leaderboard came out, the various powers became more and more clear. The divine sect was the strongest. The second was not the humans, but the Heavenly Plant's royal court. There were few peak-level experts from the Heavenly Plant's royal court who had not left, including the Right Divine General. On the human side, if Li Zhen was not around and Fong Ping was the only one at the bottom of the peerless talent list, the threat would not be too great. However, with the existence of Li Zhen, an emperor-ranked expert, even if the ranking list had purposely raised Li Zhen's strength, humans were still a force to be reckoned with. The 3 realms were in turmoil once more. After Fong Ping returned to the human world from the catacombs, he continued his closed-door cultivation. In the source world, the deduction of combat techniques continued. As the deduction continued, the new battle strategy became more and more complete. From the initial 1% increase, it had now surpassed the void-piercing sword technique. Within the source world, the image formed by the combination of qi and blood was getting clearer and clearer. At this moment, Fong Ping somewhat understood where old Zheng's Book of Great Tao and Teaching Pointer came from. That was a manifestation of energy after their battle tactics had been reorganized. Saber, the combined form of Fong Ping's vitality, was a saber. It was no longer illusory, but very clear. This saber was somewhat similar to the Zamadeo he had obtained from Zhang Dingnan. With such a combination of energy, will the explosive power be even greater? The combination methods in the source world were all illusory. Fong Ping memorized this combination method and exited the source world. The real world. Fong Ping silently recalled the combination method from before. His vitality began to condense like a blood-red dragon, and his vitality began to surge. More than 200,000 portions of blood qi surged within his body and began to reconstruct itself. The first reorganization was not as simple as it seemed. What the system provided was actually just a template. How to combine them and use them rationally would depend on Fong Ping himself. Interesting. My own reorganization is also a process of power control. Sure enough, there's no such thing as a free lunch. However, it's much easier for me to imitate others. A beam of vitality light rose from Fong Ping's hand, its shape changing continuously. Sticks, long sabers, long swords, Fong Ping kept changing the appearance of his vitality. The first time was also a solidification process. Practice makes perfect. If he had to constantly reorganize his energy during a battle, he would have been beaten to death long ago. Fong Ping was fully focused. His vitality had been greatly depleted, and he kept using his wealth to replenish it. The entire training room was dyed blood red. The aura on Fong Ping's body was also getting fiercer and fiercer. The blood-red saber in his hand gradually took shape. Divine weapon! At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly felt something. Experts were all forging their own divine weapons, forging the most suitable divine weapons for themselves. Why? The energy that I've reassembled is, after all, just energy. I should merge it with the divine weapon and form a weapon that suits me the best. When the energy and the divine weapon become one, I should be able to unleash even greater power. It seems like it's easier to split my vitality as I reorganize it with my battle technique. At this moment, Fong Ping looked at the blood-colored Changdao that had formed in front of him. Suddenly, his heart skipped a beat. His vitality, which was originally about 3 calories per portion, was now being slowly stripped away. As he split his qi and blood, the long saber seemed to become more condensed. The long saber, which was made up of more than 70,000 portions of blood essence, had become extremely stable. However, this was 3 calories per copy. When Fong Ping slowly began to split it, 80,000 copies, 90,000 copies, the long saber became even more stable and sharp. All right, that's great. Fong Ping could not hide his joy. Maybe I can take the opportunity to split it into 1 card. Fong Ping did as he thought of it. He had just begun to disassemble it when the Changdao suddenly became extremely unstable. Fong Ping's expression changed. This would not do. He did not have the control to forcefully split it. His strength was slightly out of control. Oh no, the energy is going out of control. At this moment, Fong Ping suddenly shouted, "Those outside, go away!" As soon as he finished speaking, Fong Ping soared into the sky and broke through the cultivation room's roof. In the next moment, his aura erupted and his saber slashed toward the sky. This was on Sky Island. At this moment, everyone saw an unforgettable scene. The sky was broken. The sky was slashed in half by Fong Ping's saber. An incomparably huge crack appeared in the sky, spanning a distance of thousands of meters. Below, the Heaven Division members retreated one after another. Wang Qinghai and the rest looked at Fong Ping in the sky, speechless for a long time. This guy, what was he doing? Wang Qinghai glanced at Tianmu and asked in a low voice, "How many Cal outbursts?" Slashing the void did not require much on Earth. About 100,000 calories would do. Of course, as Earth's energy recovered, it seemed like it was changing toward the catacombs. He was afraid that it would require about 150,000 calories in the end. There were still many who could slash the first heaven. However, things were different now than in the past. Slashing the first heaven made it difficult to see the second heaven. It was difficult for the weak to judge the strength of powerhouses who were much stronger than themselves. Fong Ping slashed the first heaven with 1 slash. Wang Qinghai only felt that the explosive power was terrifyingly strong. At least to kill him, one slash was more than enough. Tian Mu frowned slightly. It's really hard to estimate. However, Fong Ping is indeed much stronger than before. How far has this guy gone in his origin Dao? Many people actually knew that Fong Ping had not reached the apex. Claiming that he had the apex combat strength was because his foundation was too high. Last time, Fong Ping claimed that he had walked 800 meters in his origin Dao. Now that he was announcing to the public that he had the apex combat strength, the powerhouses who knew guessed that Fong Ping's origin Dao might have already reached the apex. Perhaps he was only one step away from the apex. Hence, the current Fong Ping could be regarded as an apex. As for advancing to the apex, it was not that simple. According to the speculations of the powerhouses outside, if Fong Ping really advanced to the apex, his vitality could change qualitatively. Then, Fong Ping might become a top-notch powerhouse among the apex. Vitality below 2 million calories was the desperation realm. If Fong Ping advanced, his vitality might exceed 1 million cal. As for Emperor level, with the strength that Fong Ping displayed now, he was not there yet. However, the gap between 999 meters and 1,000 meters was something that every powerhouse who became an apex powerhouse knew how difficult it was. You don't even know how far he has walked? Wang Qinghai was a little surprised. He whispered, "Could it be that this guy has already walked 1,000 meters? How can he be that fast?" Tian Mu shook his head. He did not think that Fong Ping was that fast. How many days had it been since Fong Ping advanced to rank 9? Moreover, Fong Ping. Something was not right. According to his private conversation with Li Chongqing, Fong Ping's origin Dao might not be far. It could not be helped. Fong Ping was so powerful in rank 8. His golden body was even at the 9th level and was close to peak. However, according to Li Chongqing, the strength of this kid's golden body now was only slightly stronger than his. It was not much stronger. If he had really gone far, Fong Ping's golden body should be stronger than it was now. Tian Mu thought about it in his heart. He did not say much. Whether Fong Ping had really gone far or made a false report, it did not matter. It was not a good thing to be too monstrous. Under everyone's shocked gaze, Fong Ping smiled and said, "Recently I felt something. I'm deducing combat techniques. Everyone, try to stay away from me so that you won't be affected." Deducing combat techniques? Everyone was even more surprised. What was a monstrous? This was it. Everyone could really understand why Fong Ping had not created his own combat techniques. He had too many things to do. Moreover, his martial arts improved rapidly. He still had to handle some official business. At this time, it was already hard to accept that Fong Ping could cultivate martial arts to this stage. However, now, Fong Ping actually had the time to create his own combat techniques. If he was not a monstrous genius, then no one deserved to be called a monstrous genius. After the shock, everyone was delighted. Some of the young martial artists who joined the Heaven Division shouted, "Minister, I hope that you create the strongest combat technique and sweep across the 3 realms." "Ha ha ha, thank you for your blessings." Fong Ping laughed loudly and said quickly, "Everyone disperse. I'll continue deducing. When the people from the various divisions come to Magic City, then inform me for a meeting." On the day he came out of the catacombs, he asked everyone to come to Magic City 10 days later to discuss the counterattack. Time was almost up. Nowadays, time was precious. Fong Ping did not want to waste it. Without waiting for anyone to say anything, Fong Ping's figure flashed and disappeared in midair. Inside the dilapidated cultivation room, Fong Ping checked his data panel again. A smile appeared on his face. Wealth. 9 billion points vitality. For 150,000 calories. For 150,000 calories. Mentality. 10,300 hertz. 10,455 hertz to 10,300 hertz. Shave. Origin. Vertical 149 meters. increase 14.9%. Horizontal 3,008 meters, increase 30.8%. Combat techniques. Nameless saber technique, plus 6%. Void piercing swordsmanship, plus 3%. Manic explosion saber, plus 1%. Combat technique combination deduction. 1 million points / time origin energy conversion. 100,000 points / 1 cloud energy shield. 1 point / minute plus aura simulation. 10 points / minute plus origin. Detailed analysis. 10 to 100 million points / time power control. 74% limit outburst. 532,100 cal / 719800 cal at this moment. Fong Ping's limit had increased from 630,000 calories a few days ago to close to 720,000 calories. As for outburst, it had increased by more than 100,000 calories. How many days had it been? The speed of improvement was so fast that Fong Ping was shocked. His origin path was improving every day. His physique toughness was also increasing. Fong Ping's golden body toughness previously had not reached its peak. He did not lack imperishable substances. Under constant honing, his vitality was also increasing. Based on the 400,000 calories vitality of a peak 9th refinement golden body, breaking through to rank 9 and strengthening by 10%, that would be 440,000 calories. Fong Ping had already walked 100 meters. Others could increase their vitality by 5,000 calories. He was the same as others, doubling it by 10,000 calories. At this moment, his vitality of 450,000 calories might not be his current limit. The benefits that a 9th refinement golden body brought to Fong Ping were not only the strengthening of his physique. He did not walk a section of the origin path, so his increase should be higher than others. I think if I walk 100 meters, I'll increase my vitality a little more. It's just that my physique hasn't reached its limit yet. So it's covered up. Fong Ping grinned. His strength control was as high as 74%. The combat techniques deduction this time allowed him to gain a stage. Previously, he was only at 65%. Based on his previous speed, he might need a few months to reach this stage. My limit is close to 720,000 calories. This means that I'm not far from the true pinnacle. Weak pinnacle, the weakest kind, 800,000 calories. It was not that this kind of pinnacle did not exist. In fact, there were many of them. In the catacombs and humans, most of the pinnacle people actually started as weak pinnacles. If the other party's strength control was slightly lower and their combat techniques were rubbish, they would probably be about the same as Fong Ping. As for Fong Ping, his origin path increased by more than 10 meters every day. It was at least a 1% increase every day. Fong Ping's basic vitality was as high as 450,000 calories. His daily limit increase was at least 5,000 calories. Based on this calculation, in about 10 days, Fong Ping would truly possess the combat strength of a weak pinnacle. Nameless saber technique. Nameless saber technique doesn't sound good. How about 10,000 master square ping saber? Fong Ping mumbled. Isn't this name too long? Every combat techniques deduction was actually strengthening and optimizing this nameless saber technique. Therefore, Fong Ping would not change his combat techniques in the future. It would most likely still be the optimization of this saber technique. Emperor Destroyer Saber? Isn't it too domineering? Fong Ping mumbled. Emperor Destroyer was too brutal. If there were still emperors alive and heard this name, they would come to kill him right now. My limit is close to 720,000 calories. I'm not counting the artifact. Fong Ping raised his eyebrows. He had the God-slaying saber. Actually, the God-slaying saber had an increase too. It was just that the system did not calculate it. Perhaps the increase of the artifact was not stable, or perhaps the system could not calculate the increase of the artifact. The God-slaying saber gave Fong Ping a considerable increase. Fong Ping calculated it himself, not counting the uniqueness of slaying origin path. Just the increase in strength alone, the god-slaying saber he controlled now should be at least 3%, right? Then, he would have to add more than 10,000 cal to it. His own limit was probably close to 750,000 calories. God-slaying saber! Why don't I call it God-slaying saber technique? Slay those true gods. Fong Ping rubbed his chin. He had to take things one step at a time. Emperor Destroyer was still too far away for him now. At this moment, it was enough to slay a god. There are still Emperor-level existences in the 3 realms. I'll keep a low profile. I won't call it Emperor Destroyer anymore. Fong Ping felt that he was low profile enough. He did not even call it Emperor Destroyer. Zhang Dingnan used to have this kind of saber technique, but he was too weak. He ignored Emperor level. He was too eye-catching. If he called it Emperor Destroyer, he would be targeted by Emperor level easily. God-slaying saber technique and God Destroyer. Just right. Maybe I can continue to optimize combat techniques and increase my strength control. Fong Ping looked at the remaining 9 billion wealth and pondered for a while. This time the consumption was not small. The deduction of combat techniques did not use up to 700 million wealth. However, his origin world was expanding recently. Fong Ping used up a lot of origin chi. As Sun City gradually merged into the origin world, Fong Ping's origin world that was 10 meters in diameter before was now almost 13 meters in diameter. The origin world was growing. However, it also needed money to grow. It would not do if there was no origin chi to replenish it. As for the phantoms that merged with it, they were only responsible for helping to expand the origin path. They were not responsible for helping to expand the origin world. If I want to expand to the extent of Tsang Mao, even billions and trillions of wealth points might not be enough. I'm afraid this cat has cheated, kidnapped, and stolen a lot. Fong Ping criticized silently. Tsang Mao must have eaten a lot of good stuff, the kind that contained origin chi. Otherwise, even if it really lived for 10,000 years, Fong Ping felt that he might not be able to make the origin world look like that. A diameter close to 1,000 meters. That was really scary. The more the circular origin world expanded outwards, the larger the area needed to be expanded. This was not something that could be reflected by the diameter. Tsang Mao is actually also rank 9. This cat is truly invincible among its peers. Who would dare to believe that Tsang Mao was also rank 9? A cat with the strength of a near emperor level. A cat that could race with heavenly king powerhouses was only rank 9. Who would believe that? Even Fong Ping found it hard to imagine. When this cat's origin path really reached 1,000 meters, would there also be a qualitative change? If there was a qualitative change once or countless times, one had to know that Tsang Mao had countless paths. Once it reached 1,000 meters, it would become 1,000 meters long at the same time. It would not be like others who walked the second path. That was a matter for the later stages. Fong Ping shook his head, not daring to think about it. It was fine if there was a qualitative change once. If there was a qualitative change countless times, then this cat would really be invincible. Just when Fong Ping was thinking about Tsang Mao. Fong family courtyard. Tsang Mao rolled over, then a little unhappy. It lay on the ground, looked at Fong Yuan and said, "Call the swindler. Don't think about me every day, or else this cat will move." The swindler's origin world was getting bigger and bigger, and the degree of overlap with it was getting higher and higher. Both of them were close to each other. Now, when this fellow thought about it, it could sense it. It was very annoying. Fong Yuan ignored it. While waving the Changdao, he panted and said, "Big cat, do you think I'm swinging my saber like this?" "Why are you using a saber?" Tsang Mao was bored out of his mind. He had also forgotten his impatience earlier. He yawned and said, "Isn't using a saber more suitable for you? Use a sword or use a ribbon." Tsang Mao muttered to himself, a little uncertain. "If you want to use a sword, this cat knows a lot of powerful combat techniques. Use a ribbon. Spirit Emperor used a ribbon in the past. It was very powerful. With a whoosh, it entangled the person. No, a whip works too. Song Mao muttered. With a clatter, the whip is very powerful. But if I want to use a saber, my brother will use a saber. Idiot! Song Mao scolded. He yawned again and said, You use whatever the swindler uses. Aren't you stupid? Why don't you use your claws? Big Dog used to use claws. It was very powerful too. Fang Yuan's face darkened. You're the one using claws. No, this cat already has claws. However, she was indeed not used to using a saber. At this moment, she hurriedly squatted down and asked, Big Cat, why don't I learn swordsmanship? My teacher uses swords too, but I don't have a good weapon. Don't you have a sky destroyer? Lend me your chin first. Song Mao's fat face trembled. Little chubby face is not a good person. I'll learn from the swindler and be called Little Swindler from now on. How dare you cheat me of my sky destroyer? The more Song Mao thought about it, the sadder he became. His divine weapon seemed to be almost gone. The 9 Emperors' seal was gone, the stone tablet was gone, the god-slaying saber was gone, the little hoe was gone, the sky bell was gone, the heaven-trapping bell was gone. Song Mao really wanted to cry. Not only that, in order to set up the trap this time, he even threw his big pot into it. Now, all that was left was the fishing rod, the divine peeking mirror, and the sky destroyer sword. The sky destroyer sword was used to cut fish, the fishing rod was used to catch fish, and the divine peeking mirror was used to watch the show. Now little fatty face was trying to trick his sky destroyer sword. His conscience was black. Song Mao had no more love in life. He covered his eyes with his paws and drooped his ears, pretending to be asleep. Fang Yuan picked up his ears and said with a smile, Big Cat, you're a cat, not a dog. Cats don't droop their ears. Song Mao ignored her and spouted nonsense. Big dogs don't droop their ears. Who said dogs do? Who said cats don't? I'm the #1 cat in the 3 realms. Whatever I do is right. Seeing that it was ignoring her, Fang Yuan giggled and said, Big Cat, why don't we eat beef? Also, don't you have cabbage? Let's eat it together. No. Song Mao refused. I don't have much left. The stupid cow has fallen into the trap. If it doesn't want to go now, there will be no more fresh beef. As for the cabbage, it was the only one left since the celestial realm was destroyed. Song Mao could not bear to eat it now. He had saved it for almost 10,000 years. Every time he was hungry, he would eat it to satisfy his craving. Beef and cabbage stew should at least be paired with an emperor-grade beverage. There was no beverage, so he did not want to eat it. Eat it, not eating. Beef and cabbage stew, it's delicious. No, no. Song Mao refused firmly, but soon wavered. I want to eat it. I can eat it, but you have to get the swindler to get me an emperor-grade beverage, or I won't eat it. This is the best ingredient after the celestial realm is destroyed. It's best to add a fish head. There's a big fish, a big one. Can you get the swindler to help me catch the fish? The so-called big fish referred to the sea guardian. The 3 guardians were older than the 8 kings. Song Mao had his eyes on the big fish before, but he really could not eat it. Even the heavenly dog said it was troublesome and difficult to eat it. Otherwise, he would have eaten the big fish long ago. Big fish? Fang Yuan understood. She would tell Big Brother later. She had been eyeing Song Mao's beef and cabbage for a long time. The emperor's cabbage was said to be the best kind. Song Mao said it was the best one back then, and he was reluctant to eat it even now. It must be something good. She was fantasizing, and Song Mao was also drooling. He really wanted to eat it. If the swindler could really get the big fish to eat, Song Mao would really be drooling. That fish was delicious. Song Mao had secretly eaten some of Big Fish's small fish in the past, and just thinking about it made him yearn for it. As he thought about it, he felt a little sad. Big Dog was dead, and there was no delicious food. When Big Dog was alive, although he often bullied him, he could eat a lot of delicious food. At that time, he ate all the delicacies in the 3 realms. I was also glorious in the past, Song Mao murmured. The glorious days were gone forever. Now, even when eating cabbage, he would think that there would be no more in the future. It was really sad. Song Mao rolled a little and yawned. Forget about sleeping. I'll eat some fish head demon. He kind of missed Big Dog. Little Sword had changed. The swindler was so weak, and he lied to the cat every day. Little Chubby Face was even weaker. The more he thought about it, the more uncomfortable he felt. Big Dog, you're dead and you're bullying a cat. Song Mao murmured, a little sad. Big Dog was still alive. How could the son of the earthly sovereign dare to kill him? Meow, a cat's sad meow, came into his ears. Fong Yuan originally wanted to continue to harass Song Mao. But when she heard this meow, she suddenly felt sad for no reason and retracted her hand. Big Cat seemed to have a story too. Jiu Tian Shen Huang. Chapter 10:27. March 12th. 10 days had passed since Fong Ping left the catacombs. 7 days had passed since Sun City's anomaly. When Fong Ping exited the catacombs, he requested for all parties to gather in Magic City 10 days later. As the current number 1 human, Li Zhan's whereabouts were still unknown. Everyone gave him face and arrived in Magic City on this day. Shanghai Governor's Office. This time, the conference was held in the Governor's Office of Shanghai. This was also the highest summit conference of the human race. Of course, the humans were not the only ones who came. In the domain, Mount Wangu, Weiyu Mountain, and the Xuanda Paradise had received invitations. On the Grandmaster's side, the Dragon Change Sky, the Jade High Sky, the Mysterious Brightness Sky, the Observant Brightness Sky, the Limitless Sky, and the Thoughtless Sky had also received the invitation. There were also the 6 Holy Lands and 19 other countries. The scale of the meeting was similar to the one Fong Ping had convened last time, but the meaning was completely different. Not only that, Fong Ping had also sent invitations to the 4 major immortal islands of the overseas immortal islands: Boundless Mountain, Immortal Inquisition Island, Water Power Clan, and Dragon Island. As for whether they would come or not, Fong Ping could not be bothered. Magic City Catacombs. The new cat palace had already taken shape, but a certain cat that was going to live in the cat palace that day had already forgotten about it. It passed by the cat palace a few times, but it didn't even look at it. The cat-shaped building was huge and was built according to the specifications of a city. At this moment, a group of people flew over from the Forbidden Sea. From afar, the humans aimed their energy cannons at these people. The martial artists stationed in the city all became vigilant. In the past, humans could only defend the north. The north was where the catacombs' powerhouses were, but now they had to guard the south as well. The south led directly to the Forbidden Sea. On the southern city wall, Guo Shengquan shouted, "Who goes there?" Immortal Seeking Island, moonless. A crisp voice rang out. Yu Wuhua was full of immortal qi, like a fairy descending to the mortal world. Beside him, a huge water buffalo also said in a muffled voice, "The water god race Wu Qi, that fellow Fong Ping, invited us here." Beside them, Luo Yu's face was pale, but he did not say anything. Last time in the king battlefield, his golden body had been destroyed by Gu Qing and the others. However, a wisp of his spiritual energy had survived, and he had been lucky enough to escape. However, his injuries were not light, and he had only just recovered his golden body. This time, the Boundless Mountain's heavenly monarch Boundless had also entered the Sky Tomb to search for treasures. The Boundless Mountain used to be the number 1 immortal island in the Endless Sea. The Boundless Mountain's heavenly monarch was extremely powerful, and his ranking on the monarch ranking was extremely high. Fong Ping had invited all parties for a meeting. Luo Yu had not planned to attend initially, but now he had no choice but to attend. Hearing them introduce themselves, Guo Shengquan said loudly, "So you are the distinguished guests of the overseas immortal islands. Esteemed guests, please take a rest in the city. We will immediately inform Minister Fong to send someone to welcome you." He said he was here to welcome them, but Yu Wuhua and the others knew what he meant. He was just informing Fong Ping and the others in advance to be on guard. They didn't care. While flying in the sky, Yu Hua said, "Brother Luo, the strength of the human realm is getting stronger and stronger. Brother Luo, please restrain yourself." Luo Yu frowned slightly and said calmly, "Wu Hua, you don't have to do this." Everyone in the world came for benefits. As long as there were benefits, everyone would scramble for it. If there are no benefits, Fang Ping won't do it for free. The overseas immortal islands aren't weaker than any other party, so there's no need for us to bow down to anyone. He realized that since the end of the last battle, the overseas immortal islands were somewhat different. The venerable emperors had all left, and there were not many true gods left. As the force closest to the celestial cemetery, a large number of true gods from the overseas immortal islands had left. It was said that one of the 33 overseas immortal islands had been destroyed, and no one had been found alive until now. Now, there were only 32 immortal islands left, but there were probably less than 10 peerless powerhouses left. There were also very few peerless powerhouses on the list of heavens and realms that the human realm had created. There weren't even as many as the Grandmasters. Because the powerhouses had left, the few remaining peerless powerhouses were also in closed-door training. Yu Wu Hua and the others held the power of the various islands, but they were extremely afraid of the human realm. Luo Yu frowned slightly. This was not a good thing. In the past, the overseas immortal islands had only Boundless Mountain as their leader, but now there were some changes. Luo Yu did not say anything else. Beside him, Li Wuqi said casually, "Luo Yu, accept your fate. Misery is in big trouble now. Those local demons are attacking the immortal islands everywhere, and your Boundless Mountain is the first to bear the brunt. The Sea Guardian is gone, and there's no one to suppress misery. Misery is in a mess. If you cooperate with Fang Ping, you might be able to keep your family business. If you don't..." Luo Yu frowned and said, "Li Wuqi, if everyone has this attitude, the overseas immortal islands will definitely be taken advantage of by Fang Ping this time. How childish and ridiculous. This is not the way to negotiate." He had enough of this big water buffalo now. His IQ was frighteningly low. The key was that he did not know anything and liked to interrupt. On the overseas immortal islands, the misery sea demons were in turmoil. Now there were wars everywhere. The overseas immortal islands could exist because most of the immortal islands were actually made up of heavenly realm fragments, or the kind of semi-divine weapons that could float in misery. On the immortal islands, it was like the immortal world. Not only was there an abundance of energy, but there were also a lot of treasures. Even the local demons could not stay in the Forbidden Sea forever. They needed a place to rest. However, this time, Misery Sea was in turmoil. Many of the demons' lairs were directly submerged and destroyed. Now, a large number of demons had no place to rest and had no choice but to attack these immortal islands. They wanted to seize the immortal islands and turn them into their habitat. Luo Yu's visit this time was also because of this. Initially, he did not take the humans' invitation seriously. However, Yu Wu Hua and the others said that maybe they could talk to the human. Fang Ping had many tricks up his sleeve. He might have a way. Although Luo Yu felt that the chances were not high, he still came to protect the family business of Boundless Mountain. Once Heavenly Emperor Wea left, Boundless Mountain would be lost. That would be unfair to Venerable Emperor. Luo Yu's rebuke was not surprising. The big water buffalo snorted and ignored him. It had its own plans. Moreover, the water tribe was not in as much danger as them because the water tribe was also a demon. Now that they were negotiating with the sea demons, it was slightly easier than Boundless Mountain and the other forces. However, negotiating was not a long-term solution. The sea demons were ambitious. In the past, they were afraid of Venerable Emperor and did not dare to riot. Now that Venerable Emperor had left and the Sea Guardian had also left, these local demons were unrestrained. If this continued, the Water Tribe's dojo might not be able to be preserved. After flying for a while, they saw the giant cat head at the city gate in front of them. Li Wuji was a little uncomfortable. His abdomen vibrated. This cat is everywhere. It's so annoying. He hated this cat. Beside him, Long Xian from Dragon Island had also fought alongside Fang Ping and the others before. When he heard this, he had a helpless look on his face. Long Xian was a demon and not at the top, but now he was like a real person. This was also a characteristic of the dragon tribe. They could transform into human form in advance. Ordinary rank. 9 dragons might not be able to do it, but Long Xian did it. This meant that he was not far from the top. At this moment, Long Xian sighed. Accept your fate. Venerable Emperor once said that in the early years when the heavenly realm was still around, Emperor Tsang and Celestial Emperor often came to the bitter sea to fish. Even Venerable Emperor's descendants were fished away a few times. Venerable Emperor went to the heavenly realm to complain, and even found the sea guardian, but it was useless. Helpless, Venerable Emperor could only join in and harm others with Emperor Tsang and Celestial Emperor. Only then did he escape. The 2 emperors no longer fished the dragon tribe. Hearing this, Yu Hua and the others could not help but laugh. They really did not know about this history. So this was how Dragon Emperor hooked up with Heaven Cat and Heaven Dog. After Long Xian finished, Li Wuji also cursed. My elder ancestor is honest. He is not as cunning as your venerable emperor. Last time, this cat worked together with your venerable emperor and broke his golden body. Elder ancestor only talked about the past when he returned. This cat is not a good thing. Speaking of which, when my elder ancestor was in the heavenly realm, he was quite familiar with them. Elder ancestor said that when this cat and dog went to steal the emperor's mansion, he turned a blind eye to it. Who knew that they were so heartless? When it mentioned this, Long Xian smiled and said, Wu Qi, which emperor is the water god venerable emperor under? I have also asked venerable emperor, but he said, Avicania. Hearing this, Yu Hua and Luo Yu were a little curious. The water emperor was an ancient venerable emperor. Everyone knew this. However, the water emperor was an outsider. After the heavenly realm was destroyed, he came overseas and established the water tribe. In this aspect, it was different from the others. Including Dragon Emperor, he had lived in the bitter sea for a long time. Boundless Mountain and Immortal Seeking Island were the same. Speaking of which, the water tribe was noble. Back then, the tribes that lived in the heavenly realm were more noble than those in the bitter sea. Without status, without a backer, without the 9 emperors and 4 emperors, and without the officials of the heavenly court, it was difficult to survive in the heavenly realm. My elder ancestor, Li Wuji, thought about it, shook his head, and said, Don't ask me, I don't know. The elder ancestor doesn't mention these things. All these years, the elder ancestor rarely mentioned the past of the heavenly realm. They heard this and did not ask any more. They were not too sure why the water emperor did not mention it, but it might be related to some grudges. Bypassing this topic, they landed on top of the city wall. The others were fine, but the water emperor was stared at by many. Water Ox snorted, a little unhappy. What were they looking at? Never seen an ox before? These humans were so annoying. When I become a peak, I will transform into a human and go to the human race to hook up with those females. Did they not see Long Xian attracting the attention of many female martial artists? Li Wuji looked around, saw the passageway entrance, and was about to fly over. Gua Xingquan, who was talking with Luo Yu and the others, frowned slightly. On the side, Guan Fu and Mei Lingfeng from MCMAU quickly flew in front of him, blocking the passageway. Seeing this, Li Wuji said unhappily, I and Fang Ping are sworn brothers. My elder ancestor and Emperor Tsang are also good brothers. I want to see my brother now. Go in quickly. Li Wuji. Behind them, Luo Yu and the others frowned slightly. What was this ox trying to do? Li Wuji ignored them and said again, Hurry up! I heard that my brother is now your boss. I'm going to congratulate him. Go in quickly. Gua Shengquan frowned. After a moment, he said, Old Fu, Lingfeng, escort Brother Wuji in. Yes. Both of them responded, a little surprised by Gua Xingquan's decision, but they did not say anything. They separated and accompanied Li Wuji into the passageway. Li Wuji looked a little smug, looked back at the others, and walked in proudly. After it left, Luo Yu said telepathically, "What is this stupid ox trying to do?" Yu Wuhua shook her head lightly. How would she know what this ox was trying to do? At the passageway entrance, Fang Ping was just about to go in when an ox rushed out. Fang Ping was shocked, and just as he was about to attack, Li Wuji shouted, "Brother Fang, I haven't seen you for a few days, and you've become more charming." Fang Ping was stunned. Li Wuji? What was this guy doing? Sucking up to him the moment they met. He and Li Wuji were not exactly on good terms. The first time they met in the Emperor's tomb, this guy ran fast, or else Fang Ping would have killed him. The second time they met in the king's battleground, this ox did contribute a lot, but they were not friends, right? Li Wuji did not care about this. After shouting, seeing that Fang Ping did not attack, he breathed a sigh of relief and said quickly, "I'm here to report. The overseas immortal islands are under attack. The misery sea demons are now besieging the 33 immortal islands, and there are many peerless powerhouses attacking. Your crazy Taoist who ranks second on the absolute talent list is there. Luo Yu and the others came this time to ask for help. Brother Fang, feel free to kill them, no problem. I came to the human world for no other reason than to not let you suffer losses and be cheated by them." Li Wuji's voice transmission was fast. Without a pause, he continued, "Of course, when you go to misery, I have to entertain you. I've prepared good wine and dishes on the Water Force Island, just waiting for you to go. Oh yes, there's a treasure ship in Boundless Mountain that can travel 100,000 li a day, sailing on the Misery Sea, not suffering from its corrosion. Immortal Seeking Island, Immortal Seeking Island. Where is Immortal Seeking Island? In Immortal Seeking Island, there is an immortal seeking pill that has been passed down from ancient times. It is said that after consuming this pill, one can become an immortal in the Source world. My patriarch once said that after consuming this pill, one can form a radiant sun in the Source world. I see that Brother Fang's spiritual consciousness is strong. Sooner or later, you'll be able to fuse the Source world. After consuming this pill, you can definitely go further. It's like an immortal source, illuminating the land, communicating with nothingness, letting the Source world's spiritual chi surround you." Fang Ping was stunned. "You are here to sell your teammates? Why do I feel like I'm in a trance? Wasn't this ox very stupid? It learned to sell people." "No, it was not the first time it sold its teammates. Last time in the Emperor's tomb, this fellow abandoned others and ran away quickly. It was obvious that Li Wuji was addicted to selling his teammates. However, at this time, Fang Ping's attention was really attracted. A treasure ship that could sail on the Forbidden Sea? An immortal inquiring pill that could make the Source world have another sun? Especially the second one." Fang Ping's heart moved slightly. His Source world was still dark, unlike the cat's world where the sun was bright and beautiful. Fang Ping could not figure out how to make the Source world bright. Not everyone liked darkness. He also hoped that the Source world could have sunlight. However, he was not in a hurry now, so he did not ask the cat. What Li Wuji meant was that this pill could turn into a sun in the Source world. That was a good treasure. Li Wuji saw that he did not speak and said again, "Brother Fang, also on the Dragon Island, the Dragon Emperor killed a venerable rank demon a few years ago. The corpse was well preserved. Forging a true divine weapon is not a problem. Brother Fang, although you have a divine weapon, the other humans will have a great increase in combat strength if they are equipped with a true divine weapon. If that Li Changxing has a true divine weapon, he will be the first among the rank 9. Fang Ping did not know whether to laugh or cry. This ox came out for this. "Brotherly, do you have any requests?" "How can I have any requests?" Li Wuji said honestly, "Brother Fang can come to Water Force Island as a guest. I have prepared 100 rank 9 demons outside the island, waiting for Brother Fong to kill them and bring them back to make weapons. These words. Fong Ping was speechless. You can just say it. Your Water Force Island is surrounded by demons, and you want me to help you kill them. Why do you have to do this? You even prepared wine and food, prepared demons for me to kill and bring them back to make divine weapons. How dare you say that? I understand. Brotherly, you don't have to be so polite. You're welcome. Brother Fong, you must go. Li Wuji roared. If he did not go, Water Force Island would be breached soon. Fong Ping was speechless. He could not be bothered. He smiled and said, Bring Brother Li to the House of Governors. I will go greet the other guests. Li Wuji's face was full of helplessness. You haven't agreed yet. I came all the way here and I even snitched on you. You have to give me a definite answer. Brother Fong, if you go, remember to bring the Pluto King. The Water Force clan has long wanted to see the Pluto King. Fong Ping had already entered the passageway. He could not be bothered with it. The Pluto King might be fighting with your ancestor now. Where did the Pluto King come from? Just as Li Wuji entered Magic City, the Fong family, the cat's nose twitched. It closed its eyes and said lazily, Calf? Calf's meat is tender, but it's too weak. Do you want to have a snack first? Beef was delivered to its doorstep. It wanted to eat it. At this moment, Li Wuji, who was only a few li away from it, suddenly shivered. What was going on? Was the human world dangerous? Fong Ping received Luo Yu and the others. After some small talk, he led them out of the catacombs. The people from the overseas immortal islands were a little surprised. However, Li Wuji had already said that the overseas immortal islands were surrounded by demons. These people might not be here for Fong Ping. They were most likely here for Li Zhen. There were 3 people on the emperor ranking. The first 2 were from the Divine Sect. As for the Divine Sect, they might not even dare to cooperate with the overseas immortal islands. The Pluto King in the human world had a much better reputation. In addition, both sides had worked together before. Now, these people were probably hoping to get the Pluto King's help to solve the crisis in front of them. Since Fong Ping knew what they were thinking, he was prepared. Maybe he could make a fortune this time. As for how to solve the crisis, Fong Ping did not think too much about it. Wasn't the cat here? If it did not work, he would bring the cat to eat barbecue skewers. This cat liked to eat barbecue skewers. Now that the overseas immortal islands were everywhere, he could have a big meal. The human world. At the same time, all parties gathered in Magic City. A silhouette appeared in the wilderness. Looking around, the figure murmured, I'm in the human world. Spiritual energy is really scarce, so scarce. How did these people cultivate to such a level? Even if Earth's energy was recovering, it was still too scarce for perfected Lord Dijo. In the Divine Sect headquarters, that was the heavenly realm, the energy was extremely rich. In the Divine Sect headquarters, in the Forbidden Sea, he could absorb energy without restraint to replenish himself. In the human world, however, perfected Lord Dijo frowned slightly. If he absorbed energy here, he would probably set off an energy vortex and be discovered in the blink of an eye. The human world is really filthy. Perfected, Lord Dijo murmured. His figure moved and disappeared in an instant. He had already sensed the disciples' aura. After a while, in a courtyard, a few powerhouses knelt and said loudly, Greetings, Pope! Perfected, Lord Dijo frowned slightly and sat down on a chair. He was not used to it and said in a low voice, Rebuild the human god temple immediately. He was used to being high and mighty. He was extremely uncomfortable sitting on a wooden chair in such a dilapidated place as the headquarters. Cope! Below, an old man looked troubled. Pope, Sino Nation, and other countries in the human world are searching for us. Not long ago, the Cloud Wolf missionary was killed in Sun City. The others were also killed or captured. Perfected Lord Dijo's face was cold. After a while, he said lightly, are the few people who were captured in the divine sect dead? They were imprisoned in the Heavenly Department's prison. The previous divine sect's deputy pope was imprisoned together with them. Perfected Lord Dijo said lightly, Heavenly Department? The dojo where Fong Ping is? Yes. Isn't Fong Ping holding some meeting recently? If that's the case, I'll go take a look and save a few disciples who were captured. Perfected Lord Dijo was very confident. He was a veteran powerhouse. Among the 72, Lord's God, he was not the one who ranked at the bottom. Now that he had entered the human world and Fong Ping had captured his people, of course, he could not sit back and do nothing. It was a good time to investigate the situation. Although it was not suitable for the protector to touch Fong Ping now, it did not mean that he could not. Fong Ping had a divine weapon. Wang Jinyang and the others also had divine weapons. Perfected Lord Dijo was excited at the thought of it. Divine weapon. In the past, King Kuin was there, the protector was there, the protector was there. Even if he got the divine weapon, it might not be his. But now that he had it, and the protector was entangled by the Netherworld King, wouldn't it be his? If he was in the human world, the protector might not come. If the news of the human world was blocked, the protector might not even know. Divine weapon, a whole set of divine weapons. And the dojo of King Wu and the others might have some secrets too. Since King Wu and the others can cultivate the Emperor Path, I might be able to. Perfected Lord Dijo was also ambitious. Now the human world was at its weakest. If the divine sect secretly controlled the whole human world, it was not impossible. Thinking of this, Perfected Lord Dijo said in a low voice, Does the divine sect still have pawns? The 6 Holy Lands, are there people from the divine sect in the governments of the various countries? I would like to meet Fong Ping personally and meet him. Perhaps it was better not to show up now. As a representative, he would meet Fong Ping and weigh the pros and cons before taking action. Pope, the few people below were worried. Among these people, some were powerhouses left behind by the previous evil sections. They knew how scary Fong Ping was. When the previous pope was around, he was cautious and the evil sects almost never showed up. In the end, they were still uprooted. First, he did not know anything about the situation. He just came and wanted to go to the gathering Magic City. Was he not afraid that something would happen? They were still hesitating. Perfected Lord Dijo snorted coldly. Why, my words don't work. I dare not. The old man suppressed his emotions and said hurriedly, I will arrange it immediately. This time, there are 20 countries in the meeting. One of them has a divine sect disciple hiding among them. If the Pope can restrain his aura, he can disguise himself as a representative of that country. Then we will arrange it this way. Perfected Lord Dijo was full of confidence. The strong could discover the weak's disguise, but for the weak to discover the strong. It was a fool's dream. According to human classification, his mentality was close to 13,000 hertz, and he had walked close to 4,000 meters on the origin path. To discover him, only powerhouses at the level of Mount Wangguqing, Hua could do. Seeing that perfected Lord Dijo was full of confidence and could not listen to other people's opinions, they did not dare to say anything more. This person was much harder to serve than the previous pope. The previous great pope would rarely appear. The previous pope was not considered weak, nor was he an idiot. On the contrary, under the circumstances of suppressing Heavenly King and the others, he could still root the evil sects in the human world. He was a character. However, the previous pope was so low-key that it seemed like he did not exist. This, the few of them sighed in their hearts, hoping that it would be fine. After all, those powerhouses had left the human world. Now, Fong Ping was in charge of everything. Fong Ping was still young. The old man was gradually relieved. It would be fine. Chapter 10:28. Magic City. Bei Gongyan walked to Fong Ping's side and whispered, Minister, Bangladesh just called. Their flight was affected. I'm afraid they can't come today. Fong Ping frowned slightly and said, Quickly, hurry up. Fly here if you can't. Everyone is here. I have a meeting tomorrow. All right, I'll urge them to come as soon as possible. Although Bangladesh was not big, it had a large population and many powerhouses. Previously, they had also sent rank 9 powerhouses to participate in the war. However, the rank 9 powerhouses of each country were not strong. Most of them died in battle. Now Bangladesh seemed to be left with only one rank 9 powerhouse. Among the countries, they were not the strongest, but not the weakest either. Some countries did not even have a rank 9 anymore. However, Fong Ping had no intention of leaving them aside. In the previous battle in the imperial battlefield, these people had also fought hard. Since they had contributed, they were qualified to participate in such a meeting, to participate in the decision-making of the future of mankind. Since the people from one country had not arrived, Fong Ping was not in a hurry to call the meeting. After thinking for a while, Fong Ping said, "You guys settle the others first. I'll go take a look at Dragon Changing Heaven." All right, House of Governors, Guest Hall. When Fong Ping arrived, Wang Ruobing and Wang Hanyue were both there. Besides them, there were others. Ling Xiao was there too. Seeing Wang Ruobing and the others frowning and a little fearful, Ling Xiao was giggling and drinking tea. Fong Ping frowned and said in a low voice, "Ling Xiao, this is where I'm hosting Dragon Changing Heaven. Wanggu Mountain is elsewhere. Don't run around. Magic City is very dangerous." Ling Xiao giggled. "Little brother, don't scare me. I'm just here to see Sister Ruobing." Fong Ping glanced at her and said lightly, "Why? Your strength is recovering to its peak. Is your confidence rising? Do you want to spar with me?" Ling Xiao was originally at the peak. Later on, she slipped. After coming out from the imperial battlefield, Fong Ping sensed that she was probably going to recover to the desperate realm. As for now, she was probably similar to Fong Ping before. She was also considered to be at the desperate realm. Ling Xiao giggled. "How can I? Why must you be so heartless? Fighting and killing isn't good." Having said that, Ling Xiao laughed again. "I'm just curious. Dragon Changing Heavenly Emperor seems to be a true dragon. Where's Sister Ruobing?" That day, the dragon transformation, Celestial Emperor transformation, covered tens of thousands of meters of heaven and earth. Although he had transformed near the Forbidden Sea, Ling Xiao and the others had seen it. It was too shocking. As she spoke, Ling Xiao saw Fong Ping's frown and quickly said, "Celestial Emperor Dragon Transformation is a true dragon, perhaps the first dragon clan in the world. According to rumors, it might be related to the Emperor. It's said that one of the 9 emperors, the Beast Emperor, was a true dragon. Of course, it wasn't the current dragon clan. Perhaps the Beast Emperor could also be called the Dragon Emperor." Fong Ping looked at her calmly. "What are you trying to say?" Ling Xiao said with a smile, "Beast Emperor, although the demon beast race was not created by the Beast Emperor. The reason why the demon beast race can cultivate is greatly related to the Beast Emperor. The Beast Emperor is even more proficient than Quokang Mountain when it comes to controlling demon beasts. That's not all. It's said that the Beast King has a divine weapon that's used to suppress the demonic beast clan. He could even summon the entire demonic beast clan. Now, the demon race is wreaking havoc, and there are countless experts. In the Sea of Bitterness, there are countless demon race. Mount Yu Hai is also. It's said that the Sea Guardian and the Beast Emperor are on very good terms. Even the Sea Guardian might be the #1 powerhouse under the Beast Emperor's command, if Celestial Emperor Dragon Transformation is really the first true dragon in the world. Then perhaps he's the Beast Emperor's descendant. Or perhaps he was created by the Beast Emperor. A load of nonsense." Wang Hanyue said coldly, "Ling Xiao, if you dare to spout nonsense, don't blame me, Dragon Transformation, for fighting to the death with your Wang Wu lineage." Ling Xiao giggled and said, "Spouting nonsense? Not necessarily. Some ancient legends. Probably no one knows more than me. Wang Wu. It said that something big happened in the Beast Emperor Palace back then. There was a mess. Is it related to Celestial Emperor Dragon transformation? Since Celestial Emperor Dragon transformation is a demon, why hasn't he shown his true form for many years? Also, is Sister Ruabing a demon too? If not for Venerable Emperor Dragon transformation, a dragon, how could a human be born? Wang Ruabing's expression changed again and again. Ling Xiao looked at Fang Ping smilingly, but Fang Ping looked at her coldly, saying indifferently, "Are you done? If you're done, you can leave." "What are you trying to say?" Dragon transformation has the Beast Emperor's method of controlling the demon race? A divine artifact to summon and suppress the demon race? Or is it that there's simply an emperor hiding in dragon transformation? Ling Xiao frowned, not quite understanding Fang Ping's attitude. Dragon transformation had so many secrets. Was Fang Ping not curious? Not tempted? Nowadays, the number of demons in the 3 realms was shocking, especially in Misery. There were countless demons. If he could really obtain that divine artifact of the Beast Emperor back then, perhaps it could suppress all the demons and be used by humans. Would he not be tempted? Celestial Emperor Dragon transformation hid for so many years, only revealing his true form at the last moment of his life. There must be a big secret. Fang Ping sneered and said, "In the Wang Wu lineage, other than Venerable Emperor Moon Spirit, the rest are all idiots. In your Wang Wu lineage, the only one I like is Venerable Emperor Moon Spirit, no matter how overbearing, how crazy, dares to take responsibility for what he does, domineering and unparalleled, worthy of being the Emperor's descendant. As for you guys, don't give me this. Whatever I, Fang Ping, want, I will go and get it myself." If dragon transformation really has this divine artifact, do you think Celestial Emperor Dragon transformation will stay in dragon transformation? He would have taken it away long ago. Also, if he really has it, I'm afraid he would have controlled those demons that day. Is it your turn to sow discord with me? The catacombs for main chambers, 2 main chambers are all demon powerhouses, close to 100 paragons and 2 emperor ranks besides Water Power, Big Crow, and Dragon Emperor, all emperor ranks, and they still summon demons. If that's really the case, will Celestial Emperor Dragon transformation not do it? Fang Ping said scornfully, "Unless he's an idiot." Also, you don't have to treat me as an idiot. Since dragon transformation is a partner of humans, I know what I'm doing. If you dare to sow discord again, don't blame me for being rude. After saying that, Fang Ping said again, "This news only you know now. Only your Wang Wu lineage knows. If it gets out and someone finds trouble with dragon transformation, I'll find trouble with you." Fang Ping said lightly, "Your Wang Wu lineage, Venerable Emperor Moon's spirit, won't feel bad, even if all of you die. Don't think too highly of yourself. You haven't done what you promised me previously. I'd like to see how you're going to explain when Venerable Emperor Moon's spirit returns." Ling Xiao frowned, saying unhappily, "There are some things that Wang Wu might not know. The divine sect has existed for many years, established by King Kuan. We know more than Wang Wu. When dragon transformation transformed previously, we weren't the only ones who saw it." "Fang Ping, don't go too far." Fang Ping smiled and said, "You guys have to settle that. Wang Wu and the divine sect have a blood feud. But why do I feel that you guys aren't anxious at all? Venerable Emperor Moon Spirit's husband was killed by King Kuan. Venerable Emperor Moon Spirit went crazy. But you guys are very relaxed." Ling Xiao was a little annoyed, saying unhappily, "The divine sect has 2 emperor ranks. Are you sending us to our deaths?" "What's wrong with sending us to our deaths?" Fang Ping said domineeringly, "So what if I send you to your deaths?" "If you don't send yourself to your deaths, then I'll tell Venerable Emperor Moon Spirit. Your Wang Wu people saw a great enemy with a blood feud. But not only did you not fight, but you even flirted with each other and mingled together. Back then, maybe it was you guys who secretly leaked the secret, revealing Prince Hongyu's whereabouts, causing him to be killed by King Kuan. Venerable Emperor Moon Spirit didn't see King Kuan pretending to be Prince Hongyu. It was you guys who saw it. Maybe it was also a scam that you guys created together. As he said that, Fang Ping was stunned. He suddenly looked at Ling Xiao, saying with a vigilant look, "You guys who actually saw Prince Hongyu appear that year?" He did not even think of this. However, it was said that Moon Spirit's participation in the North-South War and even cooperation with the Divine Sect was related to Prince Hongyu. Unquestionable Jian said that he saw Prince Hongyu, saying that Prince Hongyu taught him swordsmanship. People from Mount Wang Wu also said that they saw Prince Hongyu. Anyway, many people saw it, only Moon Spirit did not. Everyone said the same thing. Moon Spirit also believed it. Unquestionable Jian joined forces, and later, the Divine Sect and Mount Wang Wu joined forces. The North-South War was only led by a few powerhouses in the dark. Without someone close to Moon Spirit to prove all this, Fang Ping did not think that Moon Spirit would believe it. All right, it was hard to say. That woman was a little crazy. She might not investigate in detail. Ling Xiao frowned, saying in a low voice, "Fang Ping, are you suspecting that someone in Mount Wangwu is colluding with the Divine Sect? Impossible. Back then, it was my master who discovered Prince Hongyu. My master was raised by my grandmaster. Don't talk nonsense." Fang Ping sneered. "No wonder. I think Green Lotus is a traitor. This woman doesn't look like your grandmaster at all. Looks like you're also a traitor. Maybe you're the illegitimate daughter of Green Lotus and King Kuan. You." Ling Xiao was furious. Fang Ping said coldly, "What's wrong? What's wrong with my logical speculation? Don't doubt me. I have a good mouth. If I say that Qi Huanyu is the son of King Ming, then he is. If I say that Ji Hong is Qi Huanyu's son, then he is. If I say that Hua Qidao is Li Zhu's son, then he is. If I say that you're King Kuan's daughter, I'm not far from the truth. No wonder your Mount Wangwu and the Divine Sect have such a complicated relationship. Don't worry, I'll announce this to the world soon. You and the Divine Sect can continue to put on a show." Ling Xiao was so angry that she wanted to kill someone. Very quickly, she gritted her teeth and said, "You don't have to provoke us. The Mount Wangwu and the Divine Sect will fight to the death. I don't need you to tell me this. However, you dared to insult my master. Fang Ping, do you really think that no one can do anything to you? You really think so?" Fang Ping said calmly, "Try me if you don't believe me. Call Qinghua over. I'll see if she can do anything to me. As for the Mount Wangwu, I'll remember the favor of Venerable Sovereign Moon Spirit. You guys, I'm sorry, I don't know you guys anything. I'm dealing with your master. You servants have to respect me. I asked you guys to send some treasures here previously. You guys made all sorts of excuses. Be careful. I'll ask the Pluto King to rob you guys later. Don't think that anyone will stand up for you. To put it bluntly, we're the only ones in the 3 realms. Don't you know how many people you've offended? Other than us, there's also the Church of the Gods. If the Church of the Gods dares to help you, it'll be a good time to prove that you've betrayed Monarch Moon Spirit. I'd like to see if you dare to ask the Church of the Gods to help you." Ling Xiao said coldly, "Fang Ping, I, Wang Wu, have come to the human realm this time to help. If you treat your ally like this, how will the other parties believe you human?" Fang Ping smiled and said, "What I need is an ally, not a boss." Humans did not have the habit of bowing and scraping. Partners? That sounds like they're cooperating. Stop talking to me. Once you guys arrived, Dragon Changing Heaven's Side, Mystic Heaven's Side, and Weiyu Mountain's Side, Ling Xiao, I'm warning you, this is the humans' home ground. This is a meeting convened by me, Fang Ping. If you dare to play tricks with me again, I'll directly destroy your royal house. If you don't believe me, you can try. Just a few servants. Your ambitions are rising. What? Your Wang Wu wants to unify the 3 realms. Also, go back and warn Qinghua not to play any tricks. Do you really think I don't know? What were they trying to do by secretly contacting King Huai? Join forces to kill me? Idiot. Fong Ping scolded again. Ling Xiao frowned and said, Uncle Qinghua wouldn't do that. Don't slander us. Forget it. Fong Ping said calmly. It's not that easy to hide from me. Do you think I don't have spies in the catacombs? Among the 4 majestic courts, there are many people who want to cooperate with me. If there's even the slightest movement, I'll be able to receive intelligence very quickly. Including Tianyu, the Right Divine General, these people all have the intention to cooperate with me. Who would believe King Huai's 3-surnamed slave? Only your royal house is like an idiot looking for him to cooperate. Fong Ping's eyes were cold and fierce. If I find out next time, then you'll be an enemy. Enemies have their own way of dealing with enemies. I won't be merciful anymore. Having said that, Fong Ping said impatiently, All right, go back. Go where you need to go. Don't be an eyesore here. Ling Xiao was so angry that his face turned red. Beside him, Wang Ruobing revealed a smile. Previously, they were forced by Ling Xiao to the point of being embarrassed. Now, Wang Hanyue suddenly realized that cooperating with Fong Ping was really cool. Although this fellow was very annoying, once they were on the same side, all of his annoying shortcomings became advantages. Ling Xiao snorted coldly, stomped her feet, and left in a huff. She had not gone far when Fong Ping muttered, She's already a few thousand years old, but she has to stomp her feet like a little girl. She's so bored. As soon as these words came out, Wang Hanyue and Wang Ruobing were embarrassed. These words, all right, pretend they did not hear it. After Ling Xiao left, Fong Ping sat down and said with a smile, What Ling Xiao said just now was true? Is dragon transformation really related to Beast Emperor? Wang Hanyue frowned and said, Nonsense. Dragon transformation is dragon transformation. As for Venerable Emperor, we don't know what's going on either. Maybe it's just a kind of beast transformation combat technique. Wang Ruobing also said softly, I don't know why Father could transform into a dragon. All these years, Father has never mentioned this, let alone the past. But Father is indeed very old. In the 3 realms, those who are older than Father are probably Sky Emperor and the others. Everyone knew that the dragon transformation Celestial Emperor was ancient. When the Azure Cat Tengu was still young, the dragon transformation Celestial Emperor had met them in the heavenly realm. And how old was the Azure Cat Tengu? Ordinary people might not know and could not calculate it. Hearing that, Fong Ping nodded slightly and said, Then let's not ask about this. Where is the Beast Emperor's divine weapon? Maybe it's destroyed. Don't worry too much. It was not like divine weapons were unheard of being destroyed. If there was really a divine weapon, the possibility of it being picked up by the Azure Cat was higher. He should ask later. Fong Ping changed the topic and asked, On Dragon Transformation Celestial Emperor's side, what's his personality like? How does he treat you guys? The Dragon Transformation Celestial Emperor said before to let us humans take care of you guys. If there's any problem, just say it. I, Fong Ping, dare not promise anything else. If there's any problem below Emperor rank, the humans will take care of it. Also, how's the situation on Chang Rongtian's side? Is there any trouble that we need to solve? Wang Ruobing said softly, Thank you for your concern, Minister Fong. Senior brother Xingjun is my father's direct disciple. He won't mistreat Ruobing. That's good. Fong Ping did not say much. He smiled and said, If you think Dragon Transformation Celestial Emperor is safe, then stay there. If you think it's inappropriate, then stay in the human world. Just stay in Magic City and protect your safety. I'm still confident. There was a cat in Magic City. In the whole world, there was no safer place than this. Of course, in the beginning, Fong Ping went to the Azure Cat to clarify things and help protect it. Otherwise, with the Azure Cat's lazy personality, it might not even take a look if someone died in front of it. After all, the Azure Cat was not a human. It would treat whoever it liked well. For those that did not know, the Azure Cat would not care about their life and death. Thank you, we'll consider it. All right then, let's do that. Fang Ping did not say anything else. Looking at Wang Ruobing's intentions, she was not going to stay. Fang Ping did not care about her anymore. It was fine as long as he fulfilled his responsibility. The Dragon Transformation Celestial Emperor said that when he died, the people of Dragon Transformation Celestial Emperor would move to Earth. Now it seemed that these people had their own ideas. Be careful. Many people saw the Dragon Transformation Celestial Emperor transforming into a dragon that day. Since Ling Xiao knows about the rumors, others might not be unaware. You guys be careful. I won't say anything else. Fang Ping did not stay and quickly left the guest hall. As soon as he left, Wang Hanyue was deeply worried and said in a low voice, "Junior sister, if it's really like what Fang Ping said, once the news gets out, we'll be in big trouble." Wang Ruobing said softly, "Senior sister, even if Dragon Transformation Celestial Emperor has divine weapons, Senior Brother Xingjun is still here. The humans also have a few divine weapons. Why don't we see the other parties?" Wang Hanyue smiled bitterly and sighed. "Junior sister, you're too naive. We can't compare to the humans. The humans may be weak, but that's relatively speaking compared to the other major forces. But in the past 100 years, the humans have killed their way to fame and created a bloody path. You've also seen the battle at the Graveyard of Gods. Under those circumstances, they killed enemies that were 10 times stronger than them. Marshal King and the others, under the circumstances where they were far from being able to defeat the other parties, fought to the death and killed until they were afraid of the powerhouses of the 3 realms. Dragon Transformation, Celestial Emperor, Master's time is coming to an end. Perhaps by now, who would be afraid of us? Senior Brother Xingjun is not weak, but in the 3 realms, if you ask any of the top powerhouses, they would only be afraid of Fang Ping and not Senior Brother Xingjun." Fang Ping berated Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao was angry, but dared not say anything. If it was Senior Brother Xingjun, a great battle would have broken out just now. Ling Xiao is not a good-tempered person. Back then, she was called the Witch. She even dared to kill her way into the blessed Grotto Heaven alone and kill the other's chief. She's not a coward. Wang Ruobing frowned slightly. Then just now? Wang Hanyue smiled bitterly again. Do you think Fang Ping was joking when he said he killed her and destroyed Wang Wu? Was it a threat? Wang Ruobing was speechless. It's true. Wang Hanyue took a deep breath. If Ling Xiao didn't respond properly just now, Fang Ping would really do it. Ling Xiao explained again and again that she wouldn't collude with the divine sect and wouldn't leak secrets. Do you think Senior Brother Xingjun was here? What would Ling Xiao explain? Although Ling Xiao's tone was unfriendly just now, she was defending herself. This was not Ling Xiao's character. Wang Ruobing still had some understanding of Ling Xiao. Although Dragon Changing Heaven was a grandmaster and did not have much contact with the boundaries, he was not completely ignorant of some things. If it was Dragon Changing Heaven, the situation today would not be like this. Wang Ruobing nodded slightly. After a while, she said, "Senior sister, father, is he really a demon?" Wang Hanyue shook her head. She was not sure about this. It was unknown how many people in the 3 realms knew. At least for all these years, no one had mentioned this. Just as the 2 of them were discussing, Fang Ping had a little contact with all parties and did not stay long in the House of Governors. The meeting could not be held today. Let's talk about it tomorrow. At this moment, Fang Ping's interest in the Beast Emperor's divine weapon was piqued. He might appear nonchalant in front of Dragon Changing Heaven and Wang Hanyue. However, if there really was such a divine weapon, Fang Ping was almost drooling. To control the demons, there were too many demons in the 3 realms. There were a lot of rank, 9 demons in the Forbidden Sea. If there was such a divine weapon who cared about alliances, he could just summon the demons and crush them. The Fang family. Fang Ping grabbed the escaping cat and dragged its tail. With a fake smile on his face, he said, "Brother Cat, I just have one question. Where is the Beast Emperor's divine weapon that can control the demons? Brother Cat, is it here? Lend it to me. Meow. The cat screamed. Here it comes again. No, it's not here. Brother Cat, don't be like this. You must know where it is. I don't know. Help. The cat looked sad. How would it know? It had been so annoying recently. It wanted to sneakily shove the liar into a trap. Fong Ping was all smiles. Don't, Brother Cat. Tell me. I'll bring you to eat delicious food tomorrow. Big liar! The cat's face was bitter. Its chubby face was scrunched up into a ball. It was terrifyingly fat. Fong Ping could not hold it in anymore. He reached out and pinched it. This chubby face was so fleshy. The cat looked at him listlessly. What an annoying cat. The liar had nothing to do recently. He was looking for trouble every day. He had to find something for him to do. The Beast Emperor's divine artifact. The Beast Emperor's divine artifact. The cat seemed to be thinking. After a while it said, I remember now. I remember that the Beast Emperor put the divine artifact in a very secret place. Then it was stolen. Stolen? Yes. The cat said solemnly, someone stole it. That year, the Beast Emperor Palace was in chaos. The Dragon Transformation Emperor. You know about it too? The cat said in surprise at him. That old man in Dragon Transformation stole it. Then the Beast Emperor didn't look for trouble with him? I don't know about that. You should go to the Dragon Transformation Sky when you're free. Maybe it's still there. That divine artifact is really powerful. Fong Ping rubbed his chin. What Ling Xiao said was actually true. Could this divine artifact really be in the Dragon Transformation Sky? Thank you, Big Cat. I'll leave first. Go on, go on. The cat hurriedly shooed him away. After Fong Ping left, it sat down on the lawn. Its chubby face scrunched up again. Idiot. The Beast Emperor's divine artifact. Didn't the Beast Emperor's divine artifact become the God restraining staff? It's all broken. I used it to fish. How can there be any left? The cat was disdainful. The liar was really stupid. The God restraining staff was broken, okay? Otherwise, it would have been used to fight the demons. Once hit, it would not move. It was also very powerful now. Fishing, it could catch big fish. Otherwise, how could it catch those top big fish, emperor-level big fish? The liar actually did not know. How stupid! He finally tricked the liar away. The cat grinned from ear to ear. Go, go, go to the catacombs to find the divine artifact. Don't come back. You'll annoy me when you come back. Just as he was laughing, the cat suddenly looked at the sky and said with a sad face, Why did another true god come? I don't care anymore. You guys fight. Just don't fight here. If you fight, I'll throw you all into the catacombs. At the thought of this, the cat suddenly stood up. No, I have to go to the place where they are meeting and set up a big array, the kind that connects directly to the boundary wall. If they fight, I'll throw you all into the depths of the catacombs. I'll make you go far away. Humph. I'll go find some good stuff and block all the passageways. I won't let the liar come back. The cat was determined. Thinking about it, it was so tiring. Unless he found 107 pieces of celestial realm fragments. Only then could he block the passageways. Otherwise, it would be very difficult. Although he could find them himself, moving them back would tire the cat out. Forget it. I won't look for them anymore. I'll just throw them far away. The cat lay down again. He did not want to think anymore. It was better to continue basking in the sun. Chapter 1029. After leaving Tsang Mao's place, Fong Ping was still interested in the Beast Emperor's divine weapon. A divine weapon that could control demons. This was more useful than other divine weapons. Dragon Transformation. Looks like I'll have to go take a look when I have the time. Of the 22 Grandmasters, Fong Ping had not been to any of the Grandmasters other than Black Heaven once. Not long after leaving the Fong family, Fong Ping received news that the people from Mungjia had arrived. Since they were here, Fong Ping did not delay any further. He decided to hold the alliance meeting on the 13th. House of Governors. Magic City House of Governors. The place was huge. There was a VIP building for VIPs inside. In this era, powerhouses were VIPs. The reason why the VIP building was arranged in the House of Governors was to show how important it was. It was also to make it easier to monitor these powerhouses. The destructive power of powerhouses was too strong. Moreover, it was in a bustling place. They had to be careful. Magic City House of Governors was also heavily guarded. Magic City Governor Huang Qi had just entered rank 9 this year. It was rare for a rank 9 to be a governor. It showed how much Sino Nation valued Magic City. At this moment, Huang Qi was personally bringing powerhouses to tour Magic City House of Governors. This is where the Department of Investigation Services is located. Almost all the major organizations in Magic City had their headquarters inside the House of Governors. Huang Qi pointed at a small building in front of him and smiled. Magic City martial artists, big or small, are all recorded in the Department of Investigation Services. In the past few years, the Department of Investigation Services' main mission was to hunt down evil sect martial artists and protect the people. Now, the Department of Investigation Services has also begun to get involved in the catacombs. As soon as he said that, a powerhouse from another country laughed. The evil sect is just a clown. Minister Fong annihilated the evil sect headquarters last year. He finally got rid of the tumor for humanity. Yes, the evil sect attacked Minister Fong several times. In the end, they were annihilated by Minister Fong. It's considered retribution. A few powerhouses flattered him. Today, Fong Ping was extremely powerful. Everyone needed Fong Ping to take care of them. Huang Qi smiled. Just as he was about to say something, the leader of Bangladesh, a dark-skinned, middle-aged man of average height, who had just arrived, said in a flat voice, "It said that the cult that Minister Fong annihilated was just an insignificant branch. The main sect of the cult is the divine sect, which has countless experts. Governor General Huang, does Minister Fong have any plans to deal with the evil cult?" After saying that, the middle-aged man continued, "Minister Fong doesn't get along with the evil cult, you know that. But now, most of the human powerhouses have left. Now that we are at odds with the evil cult, the humans may suffer great losses." Huang Qi frowned slightly and quickly said with a smile, "Mr. Hart, everyone has the right to punish evil cults. Now that things have come to this, we can't let the evil cult spread those world-destroying theories on Earth, right?" The dark-skinned, middle-aged man spoke again. "Governor Huang, please don't misunderstand. I'm just giving some suggestions. Evil cults don't necessarily have to pay a huge price, or even pay the price of failure to become enemies. It's not impossible to turn enemies into friends, or even to rope in humans." Huang Qi's frown deepened as soon as he heard that. Hada continued, "According to the previous ranking, the evil cult has 2 emperor-level powerhouses and many peak-level powerhouses. The strength of the entire human race is no match for them. In the last battle, all of us suffered heavy losses, and a large number of experts died in battle. If we continue to fight against the evil sects, how many experts can we lose?" Hada sighed softly. "Sino Nation has a great cause. Minister Fong and Commander Li are both in Sino Nation. The evil cult may not dare to invade Sino Nation, but our family is small, and I'm the only rank 9 in Bangladesh. If the evil cult attacks, how can Bangladesh defend against it?" As soon as Hada's words fell, some of the country's powerhouses frowned slightly, hesitating slightly. Now, the evil cult seemed to have returned, and there were signs of a comeback. Of course, Sino Nation was not afraid. There were many rank 9 powerhouses in Sino Nation, Lijian and Fongping. Previously in Sun City, a rank 9 and a few high-rank powerhouses were easily killed. Plus, Star City was also within Sino Nation's borders, so Sino Nation had the capital to defend against the evil cult. But what about them? In the previous battle in the Imperial battleground, rank 9s from various countries died, and rank 9s from several major Holy Lands also suffered heavy losses. Now, did they still have the strength to defend against the evil cult's invasion? At this time, a Western blonde man said, "Governor Huang, this matter needs to be discussed properly. Should the strategy to deal with the evil cult be the same as before, that we must annihilate them? In the past few years, we did not care about the evil cult, and they did not grow stronger." Huang Qi frowned. "You can't say that." At that time, Minister Zhang and the rest were in Sino Nation, and they united all parties to suppress the evil cult's development. That's why the evil cult did not grow stronger. However, if we leave it alone, it will be a huge problem. Huang Qi said in a low voice, "Do you all really think that the evil cult can really coexist peacefully? There have been many cases of evil cult members attacking and killing human powerhouses before, and they have also colluded with the catacombs. They are also unscrupulous in their actions, preaching about the end of the world and disturbing the people's hearts. Long before the evil cult was annihilated, they advocated opening the passageway, allowing the catacombs' powerhouses to invade, killing the weak, and preserving the elites. This kind of fallacy goes against the spirit of neo-martial artists. If we let it go, all these years, the good situation that we have managed with great difficulty will soon fall short of success. Everyone is selfish. Everyone wants to protect themselves, and everyone thinks of themselves as elites. How is that any different from the catacombs?" Huang Qi said, unhappily, "The evil cult wants to lead humans into a second catacombs, but humans are not as strong as the catacombs. We are strong now because we work together." "Everyone, don't tell me you don't even understand this." Hard sighed and said, "Governor General Huang, you may say that, but you also have to consider the current situation of our countries. Minister Fang is very strong, but he is not as strong as the martial kings and the rest. It is difficult for him to completely intimidate the evil cult." Huang Qi said calmly, "The evil cult members who have entered Earth now are just clowns. Sino Nation will soon organize all parties to annihilate these evil cult members. As for Emperor level and peak level, naturally, Minister Fang and the rest will deal with them. You all don't have to worry." Hard pondered for a moment, then said slowly, "Since Governor General Huang has said so, then we will not question Sino Nation's decision. However, I heard that Commander Li Zhen's injuries are very serious, and I am worried that Commander Li will encounter a crisis. Although Bangladesh is small and poor, we still have some unique treasures. If Commander Li needs them, please let us know. We will help Commander Li recover as soon as possible. This way, our countries will have more confidence. Yes, Commander Li is injured. Although we can't help much, we will feel more at ease if we can help." At this time, a powerhouse from the Holy Land looked at the Li family's representative, Liamo, and said, "Grandmaster Liamo, how is Commander Li's injury now?" Liamo said calmly, "Thank you for your concern. Commander Li is doing well. He is now recuperating and will recover very soon." Hard heard this and asked again, "Will Commander Li attend this meeting?" "I'm not sure yet." Huang Qi smiled and said, "Currently, Commander Li is only in contact with Minister Fang. However, a few days ago, Commander Li and Minister Fang went to the catacombs together and announced the ranking list. This time, he may attend the meeting." Hard said emotionally, "Now the overall situation of humanity depends on Commander Li and Minister Fang. If Commander Li comes, he will be able to lift the morale of the people and boost our morale. If he doesn't come, I feel a little afraid. Is Minister Fang not enough to boost everyone's morale?" Huang Qi smiled and said, "Minister Fang has entered the impasse realm. His combat strength is extremely strong. Previously in the catacombs, he killed many peak-level martial artists, so there is no need for everyone to worry. Minister Fang's achievements in the past few years are enough to prove everything. That's true. Hard nodded slightly and said with a smile, this time in Sino Nation, Bangladesh also intends to invite Minister Fong to Bangladesh for an inspection. Nowadays, all the young martial artists in the country worship Minister Fong very much. If Minister Fong can give us some pointers, I think Bangladesh's morale will definitely be greatly boosted. It all depends on whether Minister Fong has the time to go. I will mention it to Minister Fong. After Huang Chi finished speaking, Hard asked again, Governor General Huang, will we have the chance to go to the Heaven Division for a look? I heard that there are many powerhouses in the Heaven Division. It will also broaden the horizons of small countries like us. Huang Chi smiled and said, Mr. Hard did not come last time. The previous meeting was held in the Heaven Division. However, the Heaven Division is in the sea, so it will be a little troublesome to go there. This time, we have chosen to hold it in Magic City. We will see how the Rear Department head arranges it. It should not be a big problem to go to the Heaven Division to take a look. That's good. I have been looking forward to the Heaven Division for a long time. Hard laughed. Huang Chi did not say anything more and continued to show everyone around. After a while, all the forces finished touring the governor's manor and waited for the evening banquet. Everyone returned to their respective VIP buildings to rest. As they walked back, Hard sent a telepathic message to the staff next to him. I see that the other countries do not have the intention to go against the God sect. Does that mean that China is the only one targeting the God sect? Sir, the other countries are weak and are not a concern. China is the most powerful and dominates the entire human world. If China targets the God sect, it is actually humans targeting the God sect. You guys are too useless. Hard's eyes flashed and he sent a telepathic message. All these years, the God sect's influence in the human world has been getting worse. I don't know how you guys are doing it. You are all useless. Only when there is great chaos will there be great governance. The God sect secretly created some bloodshed and came out to save the world as a savior. Didn't those foolish humans easily join the God sect? Blindly appeasing and blindly bloodshed will not make the God sect stronger. When the butcher's knife descends and the gods save the world, everything is under the control of the God sect. Why should we worry about the God sect not being able to strengthen in the human world? Perfected Lord Dizhou, who was impersonating Hard, was full of confidence. He sent a telepathic message. Killing can make people fearful. Gods can make people believe in them and receive spiritual salvation. I don't know why the God sect has declined to this extent in the human world after so many years. Sir, the powerhouse who was disguised as a staff beside him said hesitantly, Sir, if this is the case, I am worried that it will cause public anger. The God sect has existed in the human world for so many years because they only target some rebellious martial artists. Ignorant. Perfected Lord Dizhou scolded through telepathic message. The God sect has dominated the three realms but has failed repeatedly in the human world, which is the weakest. It is all because of your incompetence. Public anger? Isn't the current God sect enough to explain everything? It is because of your concerns that the God sect branch was destroyed and became Fong Ping's merit. The staff did not utter a word. He did not know how to explain. I am guessing that Li Zhan will not appear this time. I am afraid he may not be in the human world. Say, if he attacked this time and killed all the leaders, will it cause complete chaos in the human world? Perfected Lord Dizhou said excitedly, after killing them, the God sect will come into the human world during the chaos and save the human world. I will communicate with the Guardian and arrange for people to attack the human world. I will lead people to resist the God sect's invasion. This way, we can also distinguish the God sect from the evil sect that they speak of. Let the people of the God sect become heroes. This way, it would be easier to seize the power of the human world. After killing Fong Ping and the others, he would lead the powerhouses to resist the strong enemy. When people were weak, they needed someone to rely on the most. As for himself, He would provide support for the humans at that time. Perfected Lord Di Zhou could imagine all this. It was not the first time they had done this kind of thing. Sir, Fang Ping has already entered the impasse realm. Ridiculous. Perfected Lord Di Zhou said coldly. It is just a rumor. He has not entered this realm. When I came, I checked once. This person is still at the origin realm. However, his combat strength should have increased a little. His origin has gone further. He may not have the combat strength of a true god. After saying that, Perfected Lord Di Zhou said again, even if he has really entered the true god realm, it will be easy for me to kill him. As for whether I should kill him here or invite him to Bangladesh to kill him, Perfected Lord Di Zhou said hesitantly, the appearance of an unfamiliar powerhouse may cause some people to not trust him. I am thinking, why not kill Fang Ping secretly, pretend to be Fang Ping, and rule the human world? If he pretended to be Fang Ping, no one except Li Zhen would be able to tell that he was a fake. As for Li Zhen, if Li Zhen dared to show up, the Thunder Guardian would not let Li Zhen go. If I make a move in Magic City, it may cause chaos and make it easier for Li Zhen to return. Maybe luring him to Bangladesh and killing him on the way is more suitable. The people around him stopped talking. Perfected Lord Di Zhou came to Earth and was in a hurry to make some big moves. He could understand that a new official would make changes. However, he felt that it was not appropriate to set the target on Fang Ping. After hesitating for a while, he still said, Sir, why not create some chaos in the outer realm and lure Fang Ping away? Once he leaves, no one in the human world can suppress the god sect. We can slowly plan. Slowly. Perfected Lord Di Zhou said coldly, how many years has it been? Who knows when Heavenly King Garrison and the others will return? This is the time to seize the initiative. Idiots. I think all of you are afraid. A bunch of useless people. Tomorrow, act according to my orders. Perfected Lord Di Zhou said this and ignored this person, quickly entering the VIP building. At the same time, Macmao, Fang Ping did not return to the Heavenly Division but stayed in MCMU Villa area, Villa number 8. Fang Ping looked at old Wu with a face full of ridicule. Opposite him, Wu Quishan hung up the phone and said lightly, What are you looking at? I'm curious. Why is Minister Wu at my instructor's house? Wu Quishan really wanted to smack him to death. Was there something wrong with him being at his wife's house? Too lazy to say anything, Wu Quishan snorted softly. Governor General Huang called. Everyone has arrived and will meet in the afternoon. Everyone is mainly worried about one thing. How is Commander Li's injury? Oh, one more thing. The evil sect is too powerful. Now everyone is a little afraid. I say, when you made up the ranking list, couldn't you suppress it a little? You made the evil sect the target of everyone's attention. But it also made the humans lose some confidence, especially in the desperate situation. You're the only one on the human side. I'm worth 100. Fang Ping looked confident. Wu Quishan really wanted to kill him. But after thinking about it, he probably was not Fang Ping's opponent, so he quickly changed the topic. Stop talking nonsense. How is Commander Li's situation? Fang Ping, it's best to let Commander Li appear at this time to raise the morale of the people. Commander Li has always been Sino Nation's #1 powerhouse. Only when he's around will everyone feel at ease. As for you, you're still a little inexperienced. You don't have Commander Li's charisma and confidence. Commander Li, Fang Ping smiled. Commander Li has a lot of things to do. How would he have time to come back? Wu Quishan looked at him. After a while, he suddenly said telepathically, Kid, don't tell me that Commander Li actually went in? I felt that something was wrong. At that critical moment, with Commander Li's personality, how could he have stayed? If he had stayed, there would definitely be Emperor-level powerhouses who stayed behind to hunt him down and suppress him. Also, if Commander Li was really here, no matter how serious his injuries were, he would have appeared to appease all parties. I don't believe that he could hold it in. Fang Ping, Tell me honestly if Commander Li was here. Are you trying to fool everyone? Wu Quishan was not stupid. He felt that something was wrong. Li Jian was not the kind of person who hid things. If he was here, he might have already attacked the catacombs. A near-emperor powerhouse was invincible in the catacombs right now. With Li Jian's personality, it was normal for him to kill those catacombs' true kings with a sword. As for the previous ranking announcement, Wu Quishan had already received information that Fang Ping, a guy who did not like to use his privileges, had used them recently. In the district where the Fang family was located, especially near the Fang family's villa, everyone had moved away. According to Fang Ping, he would often go back to do some combat techniques deduction. It was very dangerous. Nearby, there were also some Heaven Division powerhouses guarding. This was very wrong. Fang Ping was deducing combat techniques. Why did he have to go home? Wu Quishan had some vague speculations. Fang Ping was all smiles, saying calmly, "Minister Wu, I don't understand what you mean. Fang Ping, I'm not the kind of person who talks nonsense. That's enough." As soon as he said that, Wu Quishan almost cursed. Fine, this kid was 100% bluffing. Big trouble. Li Jian was actually not here. To think that this kid was so arrogant. You are not even a paragon. Aren't you afraid of being exposed and instantly being attacked by other parties? That cat is there. Wu Quishan asked suddenly. Fang Ping smiled. What cat? All right, I won't ask anymore. Wu Quishan took a deep breath, suppressing the palpitation in his heart. He said in a low voice, I'll pretend I didn't ask. But you, kid, take it easy. This is not a joke. Billions of human lives are at stake. You really have to think twice before you act. Fang Ping ignored him. He looked toward the kitchen, smiling. Instructor, do you know how to cook? It's rare for you to come here for a meal. You won't be making us charcoal, will you? In the kitchen, Lu Fengru said in an unfriendly tone. If you don't want to eat, then scram. What's with all the nonsense? Instructor, what are you saying? I am, after all. You are the Celestial Emperor. So what? Fang Ping was speechless. I'm not Tengu. Whoever wants to be can be it. Instructor, is there any good news in MCMAU recently? Is there any hope of advancing to rank 9? There is hope for old Lu, but it still depends on luck. After saying that, Lu Fengru continued. My father has been researching the sky screen that you brought last time. It's very difficult to mass produce it. However, there are some small results recently. It's a little similar to a video recorder. Next, we might go to the catacombs to test it. Maybe we can use the new product to go to the catacombs to take photos. Fang Ping's eyes moved. Old Lu is very impressive. If that's the case, there will be actual pictures for publicity in the future. Oh, right. Let old Lu try to see if he can make a catacombs phone. Right now in the catacombs, the main thing is that communication is not convenient. Even in desperate realms, the strong ones can transmit their voices thousands of miles away. The weak ones can only transmit their voices hundreds of miles away. If you want to collect some information, you have to do it yourself to bring back the information. It's very troublesome. I will convey it, but it's very difficult. Lu Fengru continued. The video recorder is ready. You can pick a suitable time to fight and record it. Let people witness your ability and the war in the catacombs. Recently, I've noticed that as the war in the foreign lands has decreased, some of MCMAU students are not in the right state. It's not just MCMAU, it's the same in society. It's useless to advertise every day. There's still a lot of martial artists who have never participated in a war. They don't know the cruelty of war. No matter how many movies you shoot, they will know that they are fake. They are made by actors. Hearing that, Fang Ping nodded slightly. This was true. Everyone knew that movies were fake. Even if they were adapted from reality, it was useless. Fake was fake. That's fine. I'll get this from old Lu later. Maybe I can use it soon. After saying that, Fang Ping smiled. Instructor, Why are you still rank 7? Have you been slacking lately? Lu Fengru was exhausted. Peak rank 7. She was already peak rank 7. Was it easy? She broke through last year. It had been exactly a year since then. Was it slow to go from early rank 7 to peak rank 7? All right, it was really slow. It would have been fine if Fong Ping did not come, but when he did, he hurt her heart. She did not want to say anything. Seeing that Fong Ping was bullying his wife, Wu Quishan looked at him unkindly. Fong Ping, you can even promote Zhang Peng to rank 8 fifth refinement. Aren't you going to take care of your instructor? Fong Ping rolled his eyes, speechless. It's not that simple, but MCME really has some hope. Fong Ping rubbed his chin. He was most familiar with Sun City, but in reality, he had stayed in MCMAU the longest in his life. For the past 3 years, he had spent most of his time in MCMAU, materializing the entire Magic City. Fong Ping felt that the chances were not high. However, the chances of materializing MCMAU were very, very high. Maybe I should give it a try. MCMAU is where I started. Moreover, there are many powerhouses in MCMAU. If I can really materialize MCMAU, it's very likely that the integration will be faster than Sun City. Moreover, when that time comes, there might be a group of powerhouses emerging from MCMAU. Fong Ping fell into deep thought. Previously, he had thought of materializing a city. Now that he had changed it to a school, there should be hope, right? He had left too many traces in MCMAU, and he really had feelings for MCMAU. Without MCMAU's strong support, he might have been finished when he was still weak. Now, MCMAU's instructors and students could no longer keep up with his pace. Now, Fong Ping had no choice but to give up on focusing on MCMAU, because there was not much MCMAU could do to help him with what he wanted to do. I can try. Fong Ping made a decision in his heart. After the meeting tomorrow, he would come to MCMAU for a walk and try more. He also hoped that these teachers could become stronger and not be like now. Everyone was actually very anxious, even though they did not say anything. Fong Ping fell into deep thought. Seeing this, Wu Quishan was a little happy. Looking at Fong Ping, maybe MCMAU could be like Sun City? As for the origin formation, he did not really believe it. This kid Fong Ping had a way of fooling people. Wu Quishan guessed that it might be related to Fong Ping's materialization. I hope so. Wu Quishan was also looking forward to it. As these people became stronger, MCMAU's people could not keep up, and he actually felt bad. Becoming stronger might not be a good thing. At least it would be more dangerous. However, if they did not become stronger, those old buddies of the past would be left behind, and those old buddies would not be satisfied either. If this went on, those at the front would be lonely, and those at the back would also walk further and further away. During this dinner, everyone was thinking about their own matters, and the food was a little tasteless. The few of them ate the half-cooked food randomly, not caring if it was delicious or not. Wu Quishan, who was absent-minded, even bit the metal plate into pieces. He ate with relish. If an ordinary person saw this, they would probably be dumbfounded. The sky gradually darkened. 9 heavens, divine emperor. Chapter 1030. The next day, 13th of March, the House of Governors. Powerhouses from all sides gathered in the magnificent state guest hall. The powerhouses whispered and chatted in low voices. In the crowd, the No-Chi Force Bull looked dissatisfied and suddenly shouted, "That changed Old Bull's seat!" When others sat on the sofa, it sat on the sofa too. The key thing was, it was too uncomfortable, not to mention that the seat was too small. It did not even dare to use force. A little force would break it. Humans are so troublesome. Why did they make the seat so soft? Unlike the demons, the throne they made was huge and sturdy. That was domineering. The human race was petty. Of course it said this in its heart. Since yesterday, it had a sense of danger in its heart. It was afraid of being targeted, so it did not say it out loud. As it spoke, the buffalo swung its tail, sweeping Hard, who was beside it. Hard frowned slightly. He did not say a word, but he was annoyed. How dare they arrange for me and this stupid bull to sit together? Yet this stupid bull did not realize it, swinging its tail everywhere. This made him extremely angry. If it was not here, he would have killed this stupid bull long ago. Just as the No-Chi force was roaring to change seats, the hall door opened. Fong Ping stepped in, glanced at it, and said lightly, "There's no seat that suits you. Make do with it. If you can't, just lie down first." The No-Chi force was a little embarrassed. It was a little afraid of Fong Ping. It was fine if the patriarch was still here. Now that the patriarch was not here, it had no confidence. The Hydro God clan did not have a desperate abyss this time. It was not as confident as Luoyu and the others. At least they had absolute abyss holding the fort. Minister Fong, I haven't seen you for a few days. You look even more energetic." The others greeted him one after another. Fong Ping nodded slightly and went straight to the main seat. Sitting down on the main seat, Fong Ping looked around and said, "The 3 major territories, the 6 grandmasters, the 4 overseas immortal islands, the 6 holy lands, and the 19 human countries. Everyone who should be here is here. Then I'll get straight to the point. I'll cut to the chase." Fong Ping was very direct. He opened his mouth and said, "Let's talk about the first thing first. The 107 passageways in the catacombs have been opened. Although the number of catacombs foreign invasions has decreased, we still have to defend against them. There are 24 passageways in China. This time, the 6 great grandmasters and the 3 great realms are preparing to enter one of the passageways. That makes 9 passageways." Ling Xiao frowned slightly, saying, "Fong Ping, if the disciples of Mount Wangguo don't leave the mountain." Fong Ping looked at her and said slowly, "Mount Wangguo is between the 2nd Southern Territory and the 1st Southern Territory. Do you want to choose one or both of them? Let me say this in advance. If you do not defend, then you are not allowed to open the passage. I don't want to see anyone opening the portal on Earth without permission." Ling Xiao was silent for a moment before replying, "The southern region. Don't think that I'm threatening anyone. There are benefits to guarding the passage. Without the passage, there would be no human today. Of course, you might say that we don't lack resources, but this isn't a matter of resources. It's a matter of providing you with opportunities to become stronger. If we don't guard the passage, how can there be so many battles? If I don't fight, how can I improve my strength?" Having said that, Fong Ping said, "Then we'll arrange it this way. Among the 9 passageways, we've discussed before which one you will be assigned. In this way, the humans will guard 98 passageways. Sino Nation will be left with 15 passageways. The Southern Territory still has 2 passageways in other small countries. We will help to guard these 2 passageways. In other words, the entire 27 territories in the Southern Territory will be guarded by Sino Nation." At this point, the golden-haired powerhouse from the Hall of Gods thought for a while and said, "Minister Fong, in this way, there are still 81 passageways. If it were in the past, we could also guard them. But now all sides have suffered heavy losses. 81 passageways. There are 19 passageways in the Hall of Gods alone. We might not have the strength to guard them. There are 18 passageways in the ancient Buddhist sacred land too. I'm afraid it will be difficult to guard them. The 2 sacred lands had many passageways in their territories. A total of 37 passageways. The 2 sacred lands were not weak in the past, but they had suffered heavy losses this time. They might not have the ability to guard them." Fong Ping smiled. "It's fine. Both of you can gather some powerhouses from the nearby countries to make up a total of 37 rank 9s. 1 person guarding a passageway should be enough. But it was fine in the past. But now," Fong Ping smiled, "don't worry. The catacombs don't have so much energy to attack humans now. Of course, if there is a crisis, Sino Nation will help all sides." After hearing what he said, everyone had no choice but to agree. Everyone was doing the defense of the passageways now. There was no need to instruct them. Soon, Fong Ping started the second topic. Secondly, it's about the revival of the evil sect. The evil sect is wreaking havoc in the catacombs and the Forbidden Sea. We can't let them take root on Earth. Powerhouses from various countries and sacred lands pay more attention. Once you discover traces of the evil sect, if you can't wipe them out, inform Sino Nation. Sino Nation will wipe them out. We can't let the evil sect, this malignant tumor, be active on Earth. Having said that, Fong Ping was about to continue when Hard said, Minister Fong, I've discussed this with Governor General Huang and the rest yesterday. Right now, the evil sect has not shown any intention to be hostile to humans. Why don't we ignore them? That won't do. Fong Ping rejected immediately. We can't give them a chance to breathe. This sect is a malignant tumor. If we don't get rid of it now, it will breed big trouble in the future. Humans don't need to compromise with this kind of evil force. Hard laughed. I don't mean to compromise. I mean to ignore them first. When we're stronger, we'll wipe them out. Then it's too late. Fong Ping laughed. Mr. Hard, the evil sect can't be left alone. The longer we delay, the easier it is for something to happen. That's why after this meeting, the first thing we need to do is to wipe them out. If the base camp is not safe, then no matter how well the frontline battles are fought, it will be easy for something to happen. The first task is to wipe out the evil sect. Hard was slightly surprised. He looked shocked, but he snorted inwardly. Fong Ping's hostility toward the divine sect was too great. This time, it was said that the purpose of the meeting was to take revenge on some grandmasters or to counterattack the catacombs. Unexpectedly, Fong Ping told him firmly that the first task was to target the divine sect. If that was the case, there would be no chance for both sides to ease up. I've given you a chance. True Lord Earthweak muttered in his heart. I've given you a chance. If you're not in a hurry to go against the divine sect, maybe I can let you go. But since you're so determined to wipe out the divine sect, then we can't let it go. Fong Ping saw that he was silent, laughed, and said, If everyone has no objections, then let's move on to the third topic. Fong Ping continued. Thirdly, this time I'm preparing to carry out a joint training. We'll mainly attack the catacombs, wipe out 1 or 2 foreign territories, seize some cultivation resources, and let all parties cooperate once to see the results. In the future, there will be many joint battles between all parties. As soon as he said that, someone looked at Fong Ping in surprise. Didn't he say that they would wipe out the territories? How did it become the catacombs? On the side of the ancient Buddha Holy Land, Butoya, who had already advanced to rank 8, said slowly, Minister Fong, if this is the case, will it cause the catacombs to join forces and target us humans again? No worries. This time we're targeting the Sky Plant's royal court. As for the Destiny royal court, ask their people to retreat. Fong Ping laughed and said, I know the few paragons in the Sky Plant's royal court now. No one will believe in King Huai. The right god general needs to stay in the imperial city. As for Tianyu, it's the guardian demon of the royal court. Monster plants are difficult to move, so I'm afraid it won't come. In addition, some of the foreign territory city lords have been stirring recently, wanting to enter the inner territory. Maybe if we do this, we'll still be following the wishes of both parties. The foreign territory can't wait to have a reason to leave now and enter the inner territory. The inner territory can't wait for us to kill these foreign powerhouses and give them some time to catch their breath. This time we're not targeting all parties, just the Sky Plant's royal court. This way, the pressure will be much less. Moreover, it's not for the sake of launching an all-out war. Just wiping out 1 or 2 catacombs won't cause too much of a stir. Having said that, Fong Ping looked at the Grandmaster powerhouses and said with a smile, Since everyone is here, then the intention of the alliance is very obvious. This time, everyone must also send powerhouses to participate in the battle. In the crowd, Luo Yu frowned slightly. Just as he was about to speak, Li Wuji quickly said, "The Water Clan has no objections." Luo Yu almost exploded in anger. This stupid cow, what was he doing? The Water Buffalo continued. However, the Water Clan doesn't have many powerhouses, unlike Boundless Mountain and Immortal Inquisition Island. My Water Clan can only send 10 rank, 9 powerhouses to assist in the battle. Luo Yu's expression darkened. 10. So you're saying that we're going to send more? Where did so many rank, 9 powerhouses come from? Won't our lives be better? In the previous battle in the land of Imperial Battleground, which clan did not suffer heavy losses? What was this stupid cow thinking? At this moment, even Yu Wuhua was a little speechless. We haven't even talked about the crisis, and you're already agreeing to the conditions. In this case, how are we going to discuss next? Fong Ping smiled. Li Wuji was a little interesting. Everyone will act according to their capabilities. It's not mandatory, but Fong Ping looked at Ling Xiao and smiled. Wang Gu is strong. Ling Xiao, send more people from your side. Ling Xiao frowned. Fong Ping smiled. Previously, more than 30 rank, 9 powerhouses from your side participated in the battle. There were almost no losses in the land of Imperial Battleground. Your Wanggu Mountain has as many rank 9s as there are hairs on a cow. Since we're cooperating, then contribute more. Of course, I won't let you contribute for nothing. Previously, for Venerable Emperor Yueling's 3 peak-level heads, you sent 30 rank 9s to assist in the battle. I'll consider it as you've completed 1 head. This isn't too much, right? Ling Xiao said in a low voice. Fong Ping, I don't understand. Why do humans insist on waging war against the catacombs now? Ling Xiao was a little puzzled. He frowned again. In my opinion, you humans should be recuperating and improving your strength now. Fong Ping interrupted. Sorry, I'm afraid you don't understand humans. Fong Ping looked around and said calmly, Everyone may not understand, but I still want to tell you. Human martial artists are born to fight. Only fighting can make us stronger as soon as possible. If we don't fight and recuperate, perhaps we will also become stronger. But how long will it take? Everyone, do you really have time? Now is the best opportunity. Even if there's no battle at this time, even if there are enemies everywhere, we must still fight. If there are no enemies, then we must create enemies to kill. A battle, a life and death battle, may be worth 3 months of your cultivation, 5 months, or even 1 or 2 years. As for humans, how much time do you have? Everyone, do you really think that the world is at peace? Once the sky cemetery is breached, the catacombs' true king will return, and those emperor-level hostile to humans will return. Everyone, when that time comes, can you still enjoy peace? Humans had never been safe. Some people felt that, at this point, humans were already at peace. At this moment, they should not start a war anymore. However, Fong Ping knew more than them. It was just wishful thinking. If they did not take the opportunity to fight with the same rank now, not take the opportunity to seize resources now, not take the opportunity to become stronger now, after a period of time, they would no longer have such a chance. As soon as he said that, someone said, Minister Fong is right. The peak-level experts everywhere are still waiting for rescue in the Sky Cemetery. At this moment, we cannot slack off. It's good that you understand this principle. Fong Ping laughed. That's why we must fight. Not only you, but also those middle and low-ranked martial artists. Next, we will take the initiative to break out some large-scale wars. Everyone will participate in the war. I'm not afraid of offending people. We're enemies anyway. What's there to offend? Ling Xiao was speechless. However, Jiang Kuei said, Fong Ping, some things still need to be said clearly. You humans need to fight and hone yourself. You need to seize resources, but we don't need that. If that's the case, then why should we participate in the war? We can come here to guard a catacomb, but to participate in the war, that's unacceptable. In the previous war in the Imperial battleground, Weiyu Mountain had suffered a great loss. Jiang Kuei felt that such a war would not be very beneficial to Weiyu Mountain. If that was the case, then there was no need to participate. Fang Ping laughed. That's the logic. Everyone's position is different, so the things they consider are also different. However, some things are mutually beneficial. There are many powerhouses in Outland and the Boundaries now, but there is a shortage of young and old. Brother Jiang, there may be many older powerhouses in Weiyu Mountain, but are the new generation of Weiyu Mountain very strong? Fang Ping looked at Jiang Kuei. Jiang Kuei said calmly, then Brother Fang means imperishable substance. Fang Ping laughed. I don't expect everyone to help humans for no reason. It's like a mercenary model. You send people to fight, and I'll provide you with imperishable substance. I know that some boundaries have a lot of imperishable substance in storage, but that's for powerhouses. I don't think you're so rich that anyone can use it. As for imperishable substance, even if it's rank 9 or even at the peak, it's still the best treasure for honing the flesh. Honing bones, honing flesh, honing internal organs, imperishable substance can be said to be omnipotent. Even you, Brother Jiang, don't you lack imperishable substance? I see that you've honed your flesh, and you're only at the 7th level. Don't you want to make your flesh stronger? The war between the North and the South has long proven this point. If there's a flaw in the flesh or mentality, there will be a flaw, a very big one. Some of those venerable emperors have been sleeping for thousands of years because their flaws were targeted. Some of their flesh was destroyed, and some of their mentality was almost destroyed. Jiang Kuei gave him a deep look. After a while, he said, Can I use other treasures to exchange for it? No. Fang Ping said lightly, Humans lack treasures, but imperishable substance is more precious. If we kill the catacombs' powerhouses and destroy the catacombs, we might get a lot of natural treasures, but we definitely won't get a lot of imperishable substance. Treasures can be snatched, but imperishable substance, where can we snatch it? Beside him, Su Bing laughed. Minister Fang, then your idea is, how should we exchange for it? To prevent people from working without putting in effort, we'll calculate it by killing. Killing a rank 9, 50 yuan. Killing a rank 8, 20 yuan. Killing a rank 7, 5 yuan. As soon as he said that, Wu Quishan, Old Manly, and the rest wanted to twitch their mouths. This kid was really ruthless. However, imperishable substance was indeed precious. Usually, when they followed Fang Ping, they wasted it as much as they could. Anyway, it was fine as long as they became stronger. They never considered these things. Now that they thought about it, a rank 9 powerhouse's imperishable substance was only about 50 yuan at most. If it was used up, it would be difficult to recover without spending a few months or even a few years. Now that they thought it was not precious, that was because they had seen it too many times. Thinking about the past, human powerhouses were too heavily injured, their imperishable substance depleted, and many could not recover. These people had no choice but to go to the catacombs and fight until the last moment. A genius like MCMAU's old vice-chancellor had no choice but to be stuck at rank 8 because he lacked this. Recalling these tough days, Old Man Li and the rest felt a little emotional. It was only after Fang Ping had grown up that Sino Nation did not have these concerns. In this regard, Fang Ping did better than anyone else. Too little. Jiang Yen frowned. Rank 9s also have strong and weak ones. It's impossible to encounter the weakest rank 9 every time. Not only is it extremely dangerous to fight with a rank 9, even if you win, you'll often consume a lot of energy. What you give us is not enough. If that's the case, why take the risk and fight with them? Fang Ping laughed. You can go kill rank 7. I'm not stopping you. Kill 10 rank 7s, 50 yuan. That's enough for you to cultivate imperishable substance for a few months. Is it difficult for a rank 9 to kill a rank 7? If you encounter them head-on, a rank 9 killing a rank 7, 10 moves should be enough, right? Of course, a useless rank 9 might let a rank 7 escape. That's your problem. It has nothing to do with me. In the 107 outer territories, there are more than 1,200 cities. In a royal city, there are at least 4 to 5 rank 7s and at most more than 10. On average, there are 8 people, so there are about 10,000 rank 7s in the outer territories. If you don't want to go to the inner territory, then just go to the outer territory. 10,000 rank 7s, that's enough for you to kill, right? Who has the ability to kill all these rank 7s? 50,000 yuan of imperishable substance. That's enough for many of you to hone your golden body to your own limits. As he said that, Fang Ping laughed again. Of course, you can also try to rob me. If you have the ability and are confident that you can find so much from my corpse, then do as you please. Having said that, Fang Ping added, this is for other forces. Humans also have a battle merit system. I can't afford to give it away for free. I'm also worried that some people will not put in the effort, only thinking about the rewards without putting in any effort. According to the battle merit system, the whole world's unified system can be used to exchange for imperishable substance. In reality, human heads. Are they useful to me, Fang Ping? Useless. Everyone. Don't think that I'm taking advantage of anyone. I just want humans to become stronger, to be able to establish a foothold in the 3 realms. In the previous battle, the leaders of the 6 holy lands were willing to die for humans. I, Fang Ping, remember that. Everyone is fighting a bloody battle in the king's battlefield. I've seen it too. That's why this global joint operation is happening. Otherwise, such a good thing wouldn't happen. As soon as Fang Ping said that, everyone nodded and praised him, no matter what they were thinking. Fang Ping was right. Human heads were useless to him. He established the battle merit system in the hope that humans would become stronger, so that powerhouses would dare to fight and risk their lives. At this moment, Fang Ping did not say much. Instead, he observed the reactions of the powerhouses in silence. As he watched, Fang Ping's gaze landed on Hard from the corner of his eyes, paying a little more attention. The reason why he was paying attention was not because Fang Ping had discovered anything. His mentality was not as strong as the other parties. It was difficult for him to notice anything unusual. As for Hard staff, they were real staff. Evil cultists would not have the word evil cultist carved on their faces. The reason why Fang Ping was paying attention had something to do with the boundless force. This big water buffalo could not sit still. Its tail was wagging nonstop. Fang Ping did not know if all cows had this habit, to chase away mosquitoes or something, or if this buffalo just liked wagging its tail. The boundless force was quite close to Hard. Although it did not sweep the other party, its tail wagging nonstop in front of Fang Ping was quite annoying. Fang Ping was attracted, not because of the annoyed look in Hard's eyes, but because of indifference. Yes, indifference. The boundless force was a rank, 9 ranked near the top of the ranking list. Hard was only a weak rank 9. Logically speaking, when a weakling like Hard was harassed by a powerhouse, he would either be annoyed, avoid it, or simply take the opportunity to build a relationship. However, Hard's gaze was very cold. It gave Fang Ping the feeling as if he was looking at a dead person. No, a dead buffalo. Fang Ping had seen this kind of gaze before. When he gave a person a death sentence and felt that the other party would definitely die, he was also confident that he could kill him. This was more or less his attitude. Fang Ping gave Hard a second look. Hard seemed to feel it. He looked at Fang Ping, nodded slightly and smiled. Perhaps to true Lord Earthly Zhou, this attitude was very normal. He was giving Fang Ping face. However, Fang Ping was stunned once again. Hard was this calm? He was the leader of mankind, the strongest powerhouse. Right now, everyone else, including those people from the Holy Land, were more or less fawning over him. Other than acquaintances like Old Man Li, The others did not know about Fong Ping's personality and were extremely polite to him. Even if they were to pretend, they would pretend to be more enthusiastic. Hard was only a weak rank 9, and he was also the leader of a small country. Just look at the other 18 countries and you would know. When Fong Ping looked at those people, they might not be smiling obsequiously, but the enthusiasm on their faces was almost melting. This kind of abnormality, without comparison, Fong Ping might not care. However, with comparison, Fong Ping mumbled in his heart, aloof. It was not that there were no aloof powerhouses. This was a very normal thing. Powerhouses were more or less a little proud. However, a country's leader still had the ability to put on a show, right? Similar to old John, when it was time to be shameless, he would be shameless. On the other hand, Li Zhan was a little aloof. He was only suitable to be a general, but he would never become Sino Nation's #1 leader. Fong Ping was still thinking. Wu Qi's tail swayed even more. This time, perhaps because the movement was too big, the tail was about to slap Hard's face with a smack. Fong Ping was still paying attention from the corner of his eye. In the next moment, his heart trembled slightly. Hard didn't move much. He just leaned back slightly. The others didn't notice it, not even Li Wuji. However, Fong Ping was stunned. Hard had dodged the normal force's sweep. This big water buffalo's tail swayed extremely fast. Fong Ping looked at Wu Qi abruptly. Did this bull notice something and give him a reminder? He looked at Wu Qi. Wu Qi was also staring at him with widened eyes. Why was Fong Ping looking at him? Looking at his posture again, Wu Qi was also helpless. I said this chair is not suitable for me, but you insist on making me sit here. Could it be that you think it's unsightly for an old bull to lie down? If I don't lie down, am I supposed to sit? This is also uncomfortable. Even though he cursed again and again in his heart, Wu Qi still stood up and sat up. This time, his tail did not swing anymore. Wu Qi sighed in his heart. They should have let the demons rule the 3 realms. This human-shaped creature ruled the world. The demons were really uncomfortable. Just look at him. A bull under the eaves had to lower its head. Wu Qi sat up. His tail stopped swaying. Hard also heaved a sigh of relief. He had enough of this stupid bull. If this bull dared to swing its tail again, he had the thought of flipping out on the spot. It was too annoying. When had he, true Lord Dizhou, ever been slapped in the face by a stupid bull's tail? In that moment, even if he avoided it, he was still furious. The Water Clan's venerable Water Emperor was not here. He would definitely settle scores with this stupid bull later. While he was thinking about this, Fong Ping was moved. Had he sensed wrongly? Overthinking. The cat was in Magic City. There wouldn't be powerhouses sneaking in, right? He did not know. The cat was too lazy to tell him. Anyway, the cat felt that liars would not die. If there was a fight, he could just throw them away. As for the others, the cat would not care. Although Fong Ping did not notice anything, he was more cautious. He looked at Wu Qi, hesitated for a moment, and still restrained his aura. He leaned on the sofa and did not move. Seeing him like this, everyone frowned. What was Fong Ping doing? Showing off that he could restrain his aura? At this moment, no one noticed that an invisible mentality was wandering in the hall. Fong Ping carefully explored the surroundings. Very soon, Fong Ping seemed to notice something. In the next moment, a voice rang in Wu Qi's mind. Continue lying down. Continue swaying your tail. Swing it a little more. The Hydro Island matter can be discussed. Wu Qi was stunned. What did that mean? Fong Ping had this hobby? Did he like to watch me swing my tail? What hobby was that? Although he did not understand, Wu Qi did not mind. He liked to lie down too. It was more comfortable. Swaying his tail was instinctive. It felt good too. Since Fong Ping had said so, then he would satisfy his hobby. Patriarch! Oh, Patriarch! In order to protect the Water Clan, Wu Qi will do anything. Sigh. Wu Qi sighed in his heart. He had even started to sell his body. He did not know if Fong Ping had other hobbies. If he did, Wu Chi's head hurt. Should he agree? Chapter 1031. The mediocre ox tail continued to swing. Fong Ping seemed a little tired. He closed his eyes for a moment, opened them again, and said, "Everyone, what do you think about the hiring that I mentioned earlier?" Su Bing smiled and said, "The imperishable substance is a good thing, the more the better. But Minister Fong, this is indeed too little. My indestructible substance is limited, but it isn't limitless." Having said that, Fong Ping said slowly, "Let's do it this way. If you kill someone, you can add some qualifications. For example, one could not use heaven and earth treasures to exchange for imperishable substances. If one killed a rank 9, one could use heaven and earth treasures to exchange for 20 yuan of imperishable substances. I won't ask for more than that. This way, if you kill a rank 9, you'll definitely have some gains. You can exchange at least 70 yuan worth of imperishable substance." Everyone fell silent again. A moment later, Jiang Kuei said slowly, "Rank 9, $60. Advanced Dan, add 5 yuan." As he said this, Old Man Li suddenly spoke to Wu Quishan and the rest through voice transmission, chuckling. "Doesn't this smell like bargaining in the market? Doesn't this unit of indestructible matter sound a little unpleasant?" Everyone was too lazy to pay attention to him. Why did this old fellow have so much nonsense to say? But come to think of it, it did feel a little like that. After a moment of silence, Fong Ping said, "All right, it's a win-win situation. Besides, there are too many rank 9 powerhouses in the catacombs. Weakening the catacombs. To put it bluntly, other than us humans, don't you have this idea? How many rank 9s did humans have? All in all, there were less than 300 of them. What about the catacombs? There were 1 to 2,000 rank 9s in the outer domain, and even more in the inner domain. Even if he had killed nearly 1,000 rank 9s earlier, they were still as many as the hairs on a cow. In the catacombs today, the total number of rank 9s is 5,000. That is an underestimate of mine. Everyone, in a situation where there are very few paragons, rank 9 is the true peak combat strength. Under such circumstances, even if I don't pay any price, are you really going to stand by and do nothing?" Everyone fell silent. Ling Xiao interrupted. "If that's the case, why don't we join forces with all the grandmasters to weaken the catacombs? What do you think? They can do whatever they want. I can't be bothered to care about their lives. I'm only giving it to you because we're allies. But if that's the case, if those people don't participate in the battle and just sit back and reap the benefits," Fong Ping said coldly, "in this day and age, those who don't dare to fight and only think of taking advantage of others end up dying horribly. When we continue to improve and become stronger, these people are still sitting back and watching the show, waiting to take advantage of us at the end. They are all idiots. In the end, when chaos broke out, they would be the first to die. Don't you want to be at the top? Sitting in life-death seclusion to reach the peak? Dream on." Which peerless peak was achieved through seclusion? Fong Ping chuckled. "So, whether these people attack or not, it's up to them. Of course, we have to prevent them from attacking us." Everyone nodded again. Fong Ping tapped the table lightly, as if he was hesitating about something. Hard, dodged the oxtail again. This was definitely not something a weak 9th pin could do. According to his senses, the other party was a weak 9th class. Being able to hide it from him meant that his mental strength was higher than his, allowing him to hide it from him. Absolute peak? Fong Ping's heart trembled slightly. Which faction's paragon was the other party from? Could it be the hidden pinnacle of humanity? That did not make sense. Even if he was a human, if he did not even go to war, then he was not a good person. Beyond heaven? Bounded domain? Catacombs? Evil sect? Only these 4 places were suspicious. However, if the catacombs paragon entered, he would know. If it was that easy to infiltrate, humanity would have been finished long ago. So, he could only come through the passageway between beyond heaven and bounded domain. Beyond heaven, and bounded domain that cooperated with humans are all here. No matter who it is, they are all enemies, coming without notice and hiding their strength, no matter which side they were from. They were all enemies. Moreover, their mentality was stronger than his. He did not discover anything at the beginning, which meant that the other party was at least 1,000 hertz strong, at least a powerhouse who had walked 2,000 meters. Big cat, answer me quickly. A paragon has come to Magic City, did you notice? Why didn't you tell me? Tell me quickly. What is the other party's strength? Help me take him down. Fong family. The cat sighed, looking helpless. How could he notice this? The liars were getting better and better. This cat doesn't fight. He's probably walked 3,000 to 4,000 meters. Don't bother me. If you keep bothering me, I'm going to move. Fong Ping quickly estimated the other party's strength. Even if the paragon walked the same distance on the origin path, there was still a difference in strength. The difference in the foundation. Even if the lowest standard is 200,000 calories, walking 4,000 meters would have a foundation of 230,000 calories, an increase of 3 times, almost 530,000 calories. If I add some points to combat techniques, I'm afraid it would be 550,000 calories. Paragon vitality 1 million calories. Rank 9 vitality. Fong Ping murmured in his heart. Very powerful. 1 million calories, 80% strength control. That was close to 900,000 calories. The guy in front of him was not a weakling. He had let such a powerhouse sneak into Magic City. He was too careless. If he suddenly went berserk, he would not be able to suppress it. Even if he was not careful, he would still be in danger of dying. The cat is an unreliable guy. He actually found out and didn't tell me. If it wasn't for the stupid cow wagging its tail, maybe I would have suffered a big loss this time. Even if I'm fine, Magic City will be in trouble. Fong Ping suddenly realized that he could not really rely on the cat. This cat was not reliable at all. It was too lazy to meddle. Most of the time, even if it knew that there was danger and there was a battle, it would not intervene. Kwokang Mountain was the best proof. The cat had stayed in Kwokang Mountain for so many years. In the end, when the war broke out, the cat went to sleep. Maybe Gong Zhuanzi was alive because of it, but it only protected those that it approved of. As for the others, what did their lives have to do with the cat? I can't rely on the cat too much. It's already good enough that it can help me protect my family. I can't ask for too much. I still have to rely on myself. Initially, when the cat returned, his sense of danger suddenly decreased a lot. However, now that someone had gotten close to him, Fong Ping's sense of danger increased again. He could not be too arrogant. Wealth, 8 billion points vitality, 475,000 calories, 475,000 calories mentality, 10,455 hertz, 10,455 hertz, can be cut, origin, longitudinal 209 meters plus 20, 9%, horizontal 10 meters plus 30, 1%, combat techniques, nameless saber technique plus 6%, void piercing swordsmanship plus 3%, manic explosion saber plus 1%, combat technique combination deduction, 1 million points / time origin energy conversion, 100,000 points / 1 cloud energy shield, 1 point / minute plus aura simulation, 10 points / minute plus origin detailed analysis, 10 to 100 million points / time strength control, 75% limit outburst, 559,300 cal / 745750. Cal March 5th, Fong Ping integrated the materialized object in Sun City. Until now, it had been almost 9 days. Fong Ping had also successfully crossed over to second stage origin. He was now considered to be at third stage origin. His basic vitality had increased a lot, and so had his amplification. After a few days, even his strength control had improved a little. However, Fong Ping was still far from 1 million calories. I'm not this guy's match. Give me another month, maybe I can do it, but not now. Fong Ping fell into deep thought. However, the other party did not know that he had discovered him. If he could catch him off guard and cut off his Tao, he might have a chance to kill him. But I can't start a war in Magic City, or else I'll be in big trouble. I have to lure him away from here to the catacombs. He won't go. Otherwise, if the passageway vibrates, even a fool will know that there's something wrong with him. Should I pretend that I didn't discover him? Although Fong Ping wanted to wait, once this guy left, it would be like releasing a tiger back into the mountains. Who knew what would happen if he let him go? I have to kill him. This guy came with ill intentions. No matter which side's paragon he is, I have to kill him. Anyway, no matter which side he was from, he would not be on the human side. Fong Ping could be sure. Old Wang didn't come this time, but Old Yao and Iron Head are here. If the three of us combine, my combat strength can increase by at least 20%. An increase of 20%, Fong Ping would almost have the true strength of a desperate realm. If I catch him off guard and cut off his Tao, coupled with the strength of a desperate realm, I have hope of killing him. No, maybe I should drag him into my origin world to fight. My origin world is full of origin chi. Even if I can't destroy his origin world, I can still injure him and make him unable to unleash the amplification effect of origin Tao. This guy is not as strong as me. Thoughts emerged in Fong Ping's mind. This was also the first time he was facing a paragon in his complete state. Previously, the few he met in the space battlefield were all half-crippled paragons who had spent more than 2,000 years. As for killing the other paragons, he did not do it. He only cut off their Tao and let the others finish them off. Today, in front of everyone, I will kill this guy. The three realms will know that I, Fong Ping, possess the true strength of a paragon. The human side's morale will also be greatly boosted. Maybe I can even harvest a batch in Sun City to speed up my origin Tao. Fong Ping was still thinking, but Li Wuji was a little scared. Fong Ping had been staring at it. He had been staring at it for a long time. It wanted to shift its position, but was worried that Fong Ping would be unhappy. Li Wuji felt sad for no reason. Did Fong Ping really like old cow? What a special hobby. Cough, cough. Wu Quishan coughed softly, interrupting Fong Ping's thoughts. What was this kid thinking? He had been staring at that cow for a long time. Was he going to eat it? Fong Ping came back to his senses and smiled. Li Wuji, I've heard about your overseas immortal islands. Luo Yu, I know why the few of you came this time, but just like how I hope that you will pay the price for your attack. If you want me to attack, you have to do the same. Fong Ping said, of course, now is not the time. I can't leave Earth in the near future. As for Commander Li, he is now in the final stage of healing. When he has recovered, we can talk again. Luo Yu said in a low voice, Fong Ping, how long will it take for the Netherworld King to recover from his injuries? 3 months at the longest, a month at the shortest. Fong Ping did not mind saying it. He smiled. Of course, if we're lucky, he might recover tomorrow. But don't worry, once Commander Li recovers, we promise to help you. This is something that will benefit everyone. As for you guys, your sects are still guarded by venerables. They won't be breached in a short time. I think it's better to stay now and earn some imperishable substances. When the time comes, it will be more effective to go back and help. If we're lucky, we can break through during the battle and become Paragon. That would be even better. The few of you, you're only 1 step away from Paragon. It's not like there's no hope. Luo Yu frowned slightly. Fong Ping ignored him. He stood up and smiled. There are only a few things. 10 days. In another 10 days, powerhouses from all sides will gather and destroy a catacombs. I won't reveal which catacombs we're going to attack now, in case the catacombs receive the news in advance. Of course, in these 10 days, don't idle around. Fong Ping said coldly, it's still about the evil sect. Find their stronghold and destroy them. Those evil sect beasts deserve to die. As he said this, he had been watching Hard in silence. Hard had mentioned the evil sect a few times before. He suspected that the other party was from one. The few evil cultists who had been captured earlier had also revealed some things under torture. The evil cult had a new pope. The previous Grand Pope might have entered the fake sky, grave together with the humans. When the new Grand Pope took office, an order was passed down, but it did not come to Earth. Could it be that this person was the evil sect's Grand Pope who had just come to Earth? It's too late for the three major realms to guard against us now. The various Grandmasters are also in a lot of trouble now. They might not have the time or the courage to come to Earth. No matter how I think about it, the paragon who might come to Earth in the near future is the evil sect's new Grand Pope, one of the 72 Lord Gods. Clues flashed in Fong Ping's mind. Soon, Fong Ping had a general judgment. The other party was most likely a powerhouse from the evil sect. What a coincidence! I was just thinking of killing a few evil sect powerhouses to establish my authority, and you came knocking on my door. After I kill you, I'll see if the evil sect dares to send people to Earth in the near future. The rear is unstable. I dare not leave Earth. I have a lot of things to do here. If this guy is hiding in the dark, I might not be able to do anything to him. Fong Ping was vigilant and worried before, but now he was eager to try. He came just in time. No matter how strong the enemy was on the surface, it was easier to deal with than the enemy in the dark. This newly ascended Great Pope was really impatient. The previous Grand Pope was really like a mouse, very difficult to deal with. That kind of person was really dangerous. Old John and the rest had searched many times, but could not find any trace of the other party. Compared to that person, this one was really too stupid. Did he really think that he was invincible? He actually dared to sneak under his nose. After roughly determining the other party's identity, Fong Ping smiled and said, "This is the purpose of gathering everyone here this time. As for the specific details, we can talk about it later. However, you don't have to leave in a hurry. Since you're here, I still have to do my part as a host. This time, I'm hosting a banquet on the sea to entertain everyone. This time, I've put in a lot of effort. I've taken out all kinds of precious treasures. Everyone, please give me face and attend the banquet together." As he said that, Fong Ping added, "Everyone, please take a seat first. I'll go make some arrangements. I must give everyone a surprise. It's not a waste for everyone to come all the way here." Before Tsang Mao left, he gave me a few pieces of beef. This time, I've taken them all out. As soon as he said that, Innocent Force's eyes almost went blind. "What? Beef? You want me to eat the elder ancestors' meat?" Fong Ping, this bastard, was too much of a bully. Innocent Force was about to fly into a rage. The others' eyes were also flickering. Some of them looked at Innocent Force, holding back their laughter, but they refused to make a sound and let it go. Not making a sound. Everyone wanted to eat Overlord rank beef. It was really beneficial. If they were lucky, the rewards might not be small. They did not expect that Fong Ping would even take out this. As for Innocent Force, who cared? Not only were these people tempted, Hard, who was about to speak, suddenly stopped talking. Venerable Water Power Overlord's beef? That was worth looking forward to. That's good too. Let's go to the sea and taste the Venerable Water Power Overlord's beef. When the time comes, whether to kill Fong Ping or not, it'll be much more convenient. Hard glanced at Fong Ping, a smile on his face. Fong Ping was really considerate. He had even chosen the location for him, and he even conveniently gave him Overlord rank meat. Now, his mood that had just been angered by Innocent Force was a little better. "This stupid bull. I'll kill it later and mix it with your elder ancestors' meat. It'll be a different kind of taste." While he was thinking, Fong Ping said again, "Minister Wu, the few of you stay here and entertain the distinguished guests. Instructor Li, come with me to take a look." Li Chongqing said nothing, standing up and following him. Fang Ping was hosting a banquet? Why did he not know? It was a good thing that Fang Ping did not cheat people. Why would he give away benefits for no reason? He was even hosting a banquet on the sea. Did Fang Ping have the time to do that? Despite the many doubts in their hearts, the few Sino nation powerhouses did not say anything. Wu Quishan understood Fang Ping's intention as soon as he heard it. He wanted to keep these people here and not let them leave. Then go and come back early. I'll bring the distinguished guests to MCMAU for a tour, Fang Ping smiled. That's fine too. Oh right, if we go to MCMAU, Fang Ping struggled in his heart. He smiled again. Then call Fang Yuan along. Let Fang Yuan broaden her horizons and get to know the powerhouses from all over. As Fang Ping said that, he smiled at everyone. Fang Yuan, my sister, is still young. She doesn't know much. She's made a fool of herself. As soon as he said that, the people who were a little uneasy before were suddenly relieved. Even Ling Xiao laughed. I heard that you care about your sister the most, Fang Ping. You've never met her before. Today, let's see if your sister is as talented as you. Fang Ping's sister was highly valued by Fang Ping. Quite a few people knew about this. When Fang Ping asked his sister to go to MCMAU, all the wariness in their hearts dissipated instantly. Moreover, MCMAU was Fang Ping's alma mater. Plus, his sister was there. No one thought that there would be any traps. Fang Ping would not use these people as stakes. True Lord Earthly Zhou also suppressed the hint of wariness that rose up in an instant. When Fang Ping was about to leave earlier, he suddenly felt his heart palpitate. Now, however, he had thought too much. Fang Ping smiled and did not say much. He did not want Fang Yuan to be in danger. But if Fang Yuan did not go, the cat would not care about the lives of the others in MCMU. If Fang Yuan went, the cat would only intervene when Fang Yuan was in danger. Since when did I become like this? At this moment, Fang Ping suddenly felt a little lost. Since when was I willing to put my family in danger just to prevent others from being in danger? Zhang Tao, I've become the person I don't want to be the most. You've harmed me. At this moment, Fang Ping suddenly felt an indescribable feeling. Not long ago I said that I was extremely selfish. The lives of everyone in the world are not as important as my family. But what am I doing now? Even if the cat is here, the moment I asked Fang Yuan to go to MCMAU, am I still the same person I used to be? Taking the world as my responsibility. What a ridiculous thought, Fang Ping muttered in his heart. He strode away, his steps a little heavy. I've changed. Unknowingly, I've changed. Back then, I heard that Tian Mu and the others died in battle. Some of Zhang Tao's descendants died in battle. He admired them, but he did not think that it was worth imitating. But now, Fang Ping's steps became heavier. Old Zhang, that bastard, he's plotting against me. He pushed me to this point step by step, making me lose my original heart step by step. Damn bastard. In the source world, the world roared. On the origin Tao, the Tao roared. The Emperor Tao, all the humans in the world are protecting me, not just my family. Vaguely, the Tao moved forward a little. However, Fang Ping could not feel happy. After walking for a long distance, he suddenly said, Old man, if there's a day when humans are in danger and I need to sacrifice you to save millions of people, I'll sacrifice you. It's worth it. Old man, Li said lightly, Of course, the premise is that among these millions of people, at least one has my strength. Or after saving them, there will be no more danger. Otherwise, I won't be willing. Even if I die, it must be worth it. Is it worth it? Fang Ping murmured. It's worth it. Kid, every man for himself will be destroyed by heaven and earth. I know this saying. However, humans can live worry-free in this cruel environment. When the golden age comes, it's because there are people who are willing to sacrifice. As long as it's worth it, it's worth it. Of course, I'm just saying that You don't have to think too much. No, I don't want to sacrifice anyone. That's why I have to be stronger. Fang Ping regained clarity in an instant. He laughed. As long as I'm strong enough to fear nothing. Why do I have to do this? Old man, this time I'll bring you to do something big. Let me ask you, how much strength control do you have? Me? About 85%. What if your strength suddenly increases by more than 3 times? The strength of a paragon. That's right. Old man, Lee said slowly. I've tried to control strength that exceeds my limit. That sword in Nanjiang back then was the strongest sword I've ever controlled in my entire life. That's not 100%. It's far beyond this range. I don't want to hear you boast about the past. I'm talking about the present. 80%. Are you sure? Of course. Old man, if you're spouting nonsense and boasting, then let's die together. 80%. It was slightly higher than Fang Ping's. Moreover, it was under the situation where his strength had skyrocketed. As for Fang Ping, once his strength skyrocketed, his original 75% control might drop to 70%. A difference of 10% was not a small number. Fang Ping had an idea. Perhaps he should let Old Man Li be the main body. There was no other reason. This old man was also a 9th refinement golden body. He could withstand that kind of pressure. Others might not be able to. Right now, among the non-paragons that Fang Ping knew, only he, Old Man Li, and maybe Li Hansong had a chance of withstanding this kind of power. Others, like Wu Quishan, whose power had skyrocketed, might even blow themselves up. Old Man Li took a deep breath. Although Fang Ping did not say anything, he already knew a little. This time he was really going to do something big. I, Li Changsheng, am going to make a name for myself this time. Back then, a rank, 6 killed a rank, 8 a rank, 8 killed a rank 9. After rank, 9, wanting to cross ranks and kill people again, was a pipe dream. But today, maybe the opportunity had come. Swordsman longevity, Duan Changsheng. Today, I'll have a taste of this. Old Man Li grinned. Fang Ping, however, glanced at him as if he knew what he was thinking. He muttered in his heart, "You're thinking too much. This is my chance to make a name for myself. As for you, you'll only have 2 hands then. Don't worry. Face, that's me, Fang Ping. P.S. Recently, I'm in a period of exhaustion from writing. At this stage, the author more or less feels a little powerless. Less than 5 million words in 11 months. Old Eagle is indeed a little tired. Everyone, please don't rush me. I might need a break. M.